Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shawty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a miner. But made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be tripping, starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. As usual, it's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this bad at board games. Whole world clueless, selling they soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a slice, extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
I have seen everything that has ever happened, ever will happen, ever could happen, and yet, what the hell is this? Are you ready?
Working wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter Presents. Welcome to episode 240 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, you can find on Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, probably 20 other places that I'm not thinking about right now. That said, if you do so, you should go leave us a rating because that helps us find more listeners like yourself. Today, we're going to have a guest, and we are going to talk about a comic that I got to read called Mary-Tyler Moorehawk, which sounds like it might be a spinoff of like the old Mary-Tyler Moore show. It is not, but the vibes. Anyway, Carter, how are you doing?
I'm doing good enough to ask a question.
Okay, ask away.
Do you think, because I saw some other YouTubers that do this, and I said, you know what, that would be a brilliant idea to do on your stuff while I drink this water that ain't really water in my cup. Oh, fuck, that's strong. I feel like you should start doing a pin of shame on your YouTube videos.
Okay.
Because I have said several times, I have recommended it to you all that are viewers of this great little piece of media that I do called Blerd Cave every week. And I have recommended to you all several times, the audience that watches this and the audience that watches those Ernie's normal videos and comment, two completely different entities. It's like the original Predator and Predator 2. It's two completely different things. So I'm watching this video that you did recently of the newest issue of Avengers Twilight, which, goddamn, that book is good.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You explained cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
And I saw a comment from somebody, and they were like, man, that was a great definition of cognitive dissonance. Like, another example of it would be these modern X-Men fans that don't think that Krakoa and everything in regards to it are a bunch of fascists.
What?
And all these American people that think that they are being oppressed. Like, that's another definition of cognitive dissonance. And I'm just like, I wanted to say something, but I didn't, because I said, you know what? This would be dog. This is why I tell y'all, you can enjoy me, you can enjoy him, you can enjoy the cave. And 9 times out of 10, the people that comment on the cave are viewers like you. That was a PBS Easter egg. But if you go to Ernie's comments on his other videos, and just when it pertains to dog, it's gonna mess your head up. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, it gets ugly sometimes.
I really feel like you really and truly need just, even if I got to send it to you, hey, big dog, pin of shame, just so you can put it right there. That could be the pinned comment on the video so that everybody could see that shit. Brent Fox, thank you for the $5 hot and ready. Ernie Carter and Blerd Coa, happy Black History Month. Rest in peace to Apollo Creed himself, Carl Weathers, code name Snug. And every time I see you with that shirt, I feel like you're able to breathe a little bit less. Thank you
this
for that
$5.
And before the show started, we had Alnisa or I almost said Hosley. It might be Hosley. I do apologize in advance. Blerd Club Silver Fox, thank you for that. And then we have Gabriel Knight with his 20 or I can't even say it's 20 because it's 1999.
Yeah, it's 1999.
I'm not finna give you another penny just because I got to hear this goddamn song. But happy Saturday, Blair Carter and Blair Claw, working while listening to The Cave. Rest in peace, Carl Jackson Weathers. Yes.
Yeah, dude, that was. I'm not gonna lie, that one kind of hit me. It just hit me. It hit me. I wasn't. You're never ready for any of this shit, but
yeah.
I will definitely say, yeah, man, that sucks. But you know what? If it does help lift the spirits, I will definitely say this is a this one is a special one for Carl Weathers and nobody else but Carl Weathers, and that's a 1999. In a super chat.
It's still nasty. I will say that fantastic actor.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And it also makes me hope and pray that I can age as gracefully as that brother did, because I did not know that motherfucker was 76.
Yeah. Oh yeah, whole 76.
Bruh, that looked like a what is seasoned.
Yeah,
Apollo Creed. That's all that looked like.
Oh,
like
no,
he's been
100%.
out the game for a minute, so now he's training other fighters. That did not look like a 76-year-old man. I need those genetics. Like, holy. Before we go any further, I got to put you in the hot seat.
What I do?
So. Oh no! It's just what I was just previously talking about. So what you thinking about that pen of shame, big dog? Matter of fact, chat. What are y'all thinking about that pen of shame?
Oh,
commenters and viewers of this later on, after the fact.
The pen
what
of
do y'all
shame.
think of the pen of shame?
I mean, I'm not against it.
Okay.
I like, you know what? Because I don't pin comments very often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pin comments very often just because. I mean, shit, I barely pin my own comment. But yeah, I'm not against the idea of it. Well, because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes people are like real extra.
Yeah.
And it's just like, a lot of, like, so, you know, I think a lot of y'all have recognized this about me too. But like, I've kind of gotten to this point in my life where I just try not to let shit bother me. And like, I can't tell you how many times, like whether it's on here or if it's on Twitter or some other social media platform, if someone says something like really out of pocket to me, like something just wild, disrespectful, my response a lot of times is just laugh.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking about just disrespectful. I'm just talking about case in point. Like all these modern X-Men fans that don't realize that Krakoa and the mutants right now are fascists, and Krakoa is a fascist state. That's a pen of shame. Sir Yuri just said it. That's a donkey of the day right there.
Oh yeah,
motherfuckers. And I'm trying not to curse as much for the algorithm, but those people that be in your Immortal Thor
bruh, they are
them Immortal Thor comments, dog.
Bruh.
No. So that's what I'm saying. Just a pen of shame, a donkey of the day. Just something stupid. We ain't talking about disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, even stuff that like, you know, where like I could tell someone's trying to get my attention a lot of the times. You know what I do? You know my new response is now. You know that shot of J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies where he's just like staring and then he just busts out laughing. That's the gif I give everybody when like they say some wild shit or just like not like I said, not even just disrespectful, but just anything where it's just like I don't even have a I don't even have responses, but I'm gonna respond anyway just because engagement. But
every time you see that meme and every time you see that gif, do you hear it? That J. Jonah when he's just sitting there for a minute, he just busts out laughing.
Yeah.
Do you hear it every time?
Every time.
I can count on one hand how many times I have seen that movie. But if I see that gif, I hear it. I hear it every time. It's hilarious.
Wait, Xylos say Krakoa is fascist, so they reach so hard they dislocated their shoulder. Oh my god! Use the Picard meme. I mean, that's probably these are all solid ideas. These are all solid ideas that are going. They're going in the notebook.
Yeah,
they're going in the notebook. There's a notebook Well, don't pay any attention to this side of it. This part's for me. This part's for me. I'm keeping this part to myself. But no, I'm not against that idea. I'm not against that idea at all. If I'm being brutally honest. Let's see. Let's write that down.
Okay. While you are writing that down, my brother, we actually got a 10 bomb from LP3 saying, Carter, your tweet motivated me to watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith because I for sure was one of those secret people that said, fuck a remake before giving it a shot. Hashtag salute. If you don't know what he's referring to, I actually watched, some of you all got the alert yesterday. I watched that first episode of Donald Glover's new Mr. and Mrs. Smith TV series, or not TV series because it's on fucking Amazon, but the Amazon series. It came out yesterday. We watched the first episode in there. For the most part, everybody fucking enjoyed it. But I made a tweet just saying that I cannot wait because it's sitting at like a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes for the people that care about that kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a tweet just saying I cannot wait to see all those people that bashed it on Twitter delete that tweet and now turn right around and praise it on just that, on some clownery.
They're not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They are going to keep talking.
Yeah.
And one of two things are going to happen. They are either A, going to glaze it up and pretend they never said what they said, because that's the most likely one.
I hate that that's in your vocabulary now.
I mean, hey, it's true though. It's true though. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. They meat glaze that bad boy up, and next thing you know, it is, they'll pretend as though they never said any. Because here's the thing. Here's the difference between me and a lot of other people. Like, I've done this before on instances where I didn't like something or thought I wouldn't like something, and I come back later, I'm like, actually, you know what? With the benefit of hindsight, that actually was, like, I'll call myself out. Like, I've done it multiple times. Like, I've even said it, like, not just about comics. I've said it about lots of things, like movies, TV shows, whatever. There's lots of things that I thought I would hate, or that I thought, like, case in point, and this is why I always leave the door open.
Yeah.
This is why I always leave the door open for anything, just about. There are some exceptions. There are some really big exceptions. But, like, I remember I said something on Twitter about Madam Web, because there was like a trailer or like a picture or something that came out. This was like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. But, like, I said, you know what? I said it's going to be really funny if this movie turns out to be good. Like, I mean, like, legitimately good. I was like, I know it's not going to be good. But if it if it turns out, like I said, if for whatever reason this movie comes out and it ain't cheeks, it's actually good, like it's actually legitimately good on its own merits, I want to see how many people do what you just said. How many people are going to come back and be like, oh, no, man, see, you didn't know. I was off that Madam Web, like, on some day one-ish, but you go back and look at their whole timeline, there's nothing but like, man, this Madam Web gonna be trash, man, this Madam Web is gonna be some cheeks, Madam Web.
Oh, no, they gonna do that, because that was my whole point.
Yeah.
They're going to delete them tweets beforehand. One real quick one from Sam Lamb 360. Blessings from Trinidad, Blerd and Carter. I did not realize we have fans in Trinidad. Sending you love and nice weather. It's carnival season down here. Be blessed. I want to be your eyes for at least an hour.
Man, I about to say, dude, Trinidad don't play. All right, look,
during carnival, just 1 hour. Just let me borrow your eyes, or maybe your lap, because I know you're gonna try to get somebody to sit in it. Let me borrow it for an hour. That's all I'm asking.
Look, hey, look, all the way from the land of rhythm and blues, here in Memphis. Shout out to you down there where it's literally popping off. Man, if I could just trade places for an hour, I would be like, man, woo.
I don't like
Witch Doctor's son,
because every time I see something from him, it's
Wait, what was it?
so first thing is in agreement with you. The switch from them using their mouth for hate to pleasure is crazy and needs to be studied. That is an outrageous thing for you to say at 10:21 in the goddamn morning.
Oh,
the other thing that he said was his sister was hating on Miss Marvel because they changed her powers. And I was like, dog, you own one comic that I bought you. You ain't a fan nor read the source. She gave it a chance and loved it.
There you go. But that's the thing, though. I think sometimes people overestimate like their investment in something sometimes. And like, I get it. Yeah, there's some people who like, they're legitimately fans of Ms. Marvel. They hated that shit because they didn't like the fact they changed the powers. But here's the thing. Fundamentally, the powers didn't change. She was still doing the same shit. She just did it in a different way. Yeah, there were definitely like the shield stuff. That was weird, and the whole stepping stone thing. That's weird, whatever. But yeah, at the end of the day, is it good? And that's the question I have. Once again, when I said that shit about Madam Web, there was a motherfucker who was like, man, you actually even entertaining the idea this could be good. And I was like, here's the thing. I don't go into anything hoping that it's bad. Because if I'm going to go watch something, I hope the shit's good. Like, I went into Morbius hoping it would be good. It was not. But I hoped I would, like, I won't even say hope. I prefer. It's not even like like, it's like when I go see a movie, all right, I sit down and watch a TV show. I don't sit down and go, this is going to be some wild trash. It's like, no, I sit down and go, man, please be good.
Do you know that me being a fan of 30 Seconds to Mars and Blade Runner 2049, I'm still holding out hope that Morbius ain't that bad?
Well, I could definitely tell you it ain't good either.
Like, dude, I keep hearing you and everybody else say, man, that shit is terrible. And then I think about Kings and Queens and that Hurricane song with Kanye. Then I think about Blade Runner. And then I think about Lords of War. I'm just like,
you're like, man,
come on, it can't be that bad.
Look, it's like, man, please don't be trash. Please.
I promise, bro. That boy said, man, pray to God. Man, pray to God, hoping that movie would be good. God said, no.
No, look, nah. Nah, big time. Nah. But yeah, no, it's a reasonable, it's a reasonable thing to want. It's a reasonable thing to want. But like, yeah, going into something like expecting it to suck is, I think, unhealthy. I think it's unhealthy. Not saying that you shouldn't or can't do it. If that's your thing, fine. But here, I'm actually gonna skip that one. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's just me. But yeah, it was a like Mojo Quid probably summed it up the best I think I've ever seen anyone sum it up. Morbius was cool for a vampire movie, but it was terrible as a Morbius movie. And that is actually, because if you think about, like, the only thing about Morbius that, like, at least as far as, like, just, as far as overall quality concern goes, is that, man, that movie, it just ended. Like, you watch something, you're like, man, dude, I kind of wish there was a little bit more. or like you go like, man, they could have ended that like 10, 15, maybe even 20, 30 minutes ago. No, Morbius is like, when you get to the end, it's like, oh shit, it's over? Oh, goddamn.
I'm gonna say it again. Because I'm a fan of 30 Seconds to Mars. Because I was a fan of that card in Marvel Snap. I want to hold out hope that the movie isn't bad. Well, Carter, why don't you see it?
Yeah.
No.
Because
I still want to hold out that hope.
He tried not to lose heart. Well, okay, so like, what was it? Nuck said it. Like, what's crazy is the trailers for Morbius were so good, in my opinion. That's the thing. I like the trailers for it. I mean, I could kind of tell based on the trailers, it wasn't going to be like it wasn't going to be like the second coming. It wasn't going to be the movie of the year. But like I knew, and I think you and I even talked about this when we did a trailer reaction to it. I was like, dude, this could be good. Like we're like, man, this is actually giving, because initially I don't think either one of us had much hope for the movie. And then we saw that it was like, no, it wasn't a trailer. I think it was like they showed a like a preview.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a preview, and then they were like, "Oh, well, here you go. Here's this preview, and it's Morbius just popping off." And I'm like, "Dude, this part's really cool."
It's the Flash, because we thought that Flash trailer that came out with Michael Keaton was
right.
off the chain.
As much as I don't like Ezra Miller, I was actually hoping to be entertained. I knew especially once I realized how long the movie was going to be, I wasn't going to like go in that motherfucker being like, I hope this movie's hot trash. I mean, yeah, I don't want it to be good because I don't want Ezra Miller eating off this shit. But at the same time, I do hope at least the rest of the movie is good. The sad part is Ezra Miller is probably the best part of the whole damn movie and the worst at the same time. But anyway, I don't want to go too terribly far off into a tangent on that because we do have stuff to do. Yeah, exactly. And Elite X1s couldn't have said it any better. Who wants to waste 2.5 hours of their life watching some bullshit? that is pretty much where my head is at. I just would not. Wait a minute. So this was funny here. With the two LJ Brown with the 2 pounds says Ernie and Carter, my revenge is coming soon. So here's the funny thing. I saw the Discord earlier.
Oh, yeah, I saw it too.
He's I got the goddamn theme song stuck in my head. I was like, that's the fucked up part about anime that I don't like. They usually have really lit theme songs. Like I was telling you the other day, One Piece. I cannot stand One Piece. And I think I don't remember which opening it is. It might be the first, I think. But like I think that first opening is kind of lit. I mean, it ain't like the greatest thing on earth, but like it's like, okay, yeah, it's hitting. Like, oh, sing on, do 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 do. I was like, dude, that's actually it's kind of hitting. And like it was the same thing with Bleach. Bleach was the same thing. I was like, man, why y'all gotta make this theme song so lit? I don't like this shit. Like, you know what? When the theme song is trash, but the anime is good, I'm perfectly fine with that. Because I can skip that hoe. Yeah. Oh, also, there's some we're gonna talk about a little later. Because it's gonna be a thing. But we're gonna talk about some. You want to talk about some lit shit? Nerd Large with the 1999 super chat says, greetings, non-fascist Blerd Coens. Missed last week's Blerd Cave because I was on a very belated birthday trip, which, by the way, happy birthday. Says with the crew in Puerto Rico. How good was Percy Jackson's season finale, by the way? Rest in peace to Lance Reddick. I haven't gotten to watch it yet. My wife is actually watching it right now. She's the big Percy Jackson fan in the house. I like Percy Jackson. She realized that like I was too busy, so she just went ahead and finished that bitch. we have that unspoken agreement when we realize we're too busy to finish the thing that we want to enjoy together. It's like, yeah, man, go ahead and like, was it like in the horror movies? Go on without me. And then we also got here what. It's funny. So I'm going to answer this one super quick because we got to go pick up our guest. But Eslam10 said, oh, wait, where'd it go? Here it goes. Said, what's up? What would you do if you and Carter became Galactus? Well, for one, I would just eat this planet because this planet is through. This planet is through. It doesn't deserve to go on. I'd just eat it and then go take the biggest dump ever. Carter, what would you do?
I would make Regina Hall my Silver Surfer. My herald. Regina Hall would be my herald. That's what I would do.
Damn. I love it though. I love it though. Okay, let's I gotta go pick up my guests. And wait, do I have my yeah, I still have it up. Okay, cool. I am gonna go pick up the guest. We will be right back. Hey, what's going on?
Oh shit! Here we are.
Good to see you again. How you been?
Good, man. How are you? You're looking good. You're looking good,
Thank
man. You got the beard.
Man,
Hanging out.
I'm trying. Well, I don't know. It's all this probably is a Zoom filter I forgot to turn off.
It's like one of those Snapchat filters where you got like a puppy dog face or whatever.
Yeah. It's like oh yeah, don't worry. It's special effects. It's special effects. Here, let's get back into it. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's do it like this. Because this thing's being weird. Hold on, y'all. I thought I did the thing. I did not do the thing. Here, let's get rid of this. We're gonna make this something else. Real quick. Here, let me display capture here. Y'all are gonna see a little bit of how the sausage is made, y'all. Here, let's see here. Bam, there we go. That's how we do it. We're gonna bring this under here. This is how we do the thing. Here. Bam. All righty. There we go. We got you. We bringing you in. Look at that. I told you we would figure it out. We figured it out eventually.
Yeah.
So
Is there a delay? Because I'm seeing a delay.
Mhm. Oh, you might be. Well, no, there shouldn't.
I mean,
be.
it's fine.
It's
fine.
No.
If it works for you, it works for you.
It works for
That's
you.
okay.
Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, no, we're good. Dude, so Dave, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Baker. Also, might I add, Eisner nominated Dave Baker. Yeah, that is look, because I feel like once you're, it's like the Oscars. Like once you're nominated, like that's your thing. Like that's your thing, and you just like that's how you sell everything from that moment going forward. Is like it's boom. That's the ultimate respect in my eyes.
I think that happened because Nicole and I came on your show to promote the book. I think there's no other way that we got nominated. It was they were like, oh shit, Ernie's fucking you got the thumbs up from him? Oh, send him the nomination. You got this.
It's like no. Off the strength of this and this alone, nothing else matters. It's just this. 100% just this. But no, like how have you been, man? How have you been doing?
Good, man. I'm out here promoting the book, talking to people. It's been very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Making stuff. Nothing too crazy, man. The life of a cartoonist is pretty, you sit at the table, you draw some stuff, and then you send it to publishers, and they go, maybe.
Well, yeah. Well, so, speaking of, so the last time, like you mentioned, with, you and Nicole both, y'all came on and had a great conversation, fantastic conversation, and just fantastic time because y'all had what I felt was probably the most different and one of the more interesting comics I read in a long time with Everyone is Tulip. And I always get it mixed with like Everything or Everyone, to be fair. Yeah.
It makes sense. Everybody always says everything is tulip, and I'm like, no, that's not. It's everyone. It's fine. It's fine.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's the last.
O-N-E.
It's the first and the last line of the book, and also like 100 other times in the book, and yet everyone still says everything because it makes sense. A tulip is not a person; it's
the
thing,
Mandela.
So, right? Yeah.
It's the Mandela effect. It's where everyone thinks that Stallone said send a maniac to catch a maniac in Demolition Man, where he actually said send a maniac to catch one. So it's like there you go. It's a thing. It's okay though. It's okay though, because you know what? It was good. It was a very good book. I think it transcends any besmirchment of of people misinterpreting the name of the title, but that a lot of that was actually why when you told me what you were doing with Mary-Tyler Moorehawk, I was even more intrigued because I was like, oh wow. I was like, yeah, this guy's gonna be doing something you're pretty wild. Like it's gonna be something that's gonna be different. It's not gonna be like the same old that you will probably see out of like your typical like comic book fare. Which is not to say that like everybody's doing the same thing, but just like like when you say comic book, it evokes a certain thing and like a certain idea in people's heads, and sometimes people like when you say comic book, they only think about superheroes, or they only think about like superheroes. That's usually what people think about when you say the word comic book. At least you're casuals. At least you're casuals. But I pretty much like kind of going into it was just like, I was like, what is this gonna be? So I was very excited when you sent it over to me. So like, what for those who aren't initiated, what would you say is the elevator pitch for Mary-Tyler Moorehawk?
Mary-Tyler Moorehawk is a hybrid novel, graphic novel, where half of it is a comic book action adventure story about a family of super scientists, 100 years, or a family of super scientists who are attempting to stop a villain from their past from ending the world, kind of committing a spatio-temporal holocaust, right? And it's kind of told in the style of Nancy Drew, Party Boys, Johnny Quest, the Doc Savage, like, pulp adventurer, kid adventurer thing. And then the other half of the book is a novel that's told through epistolary zines called Physicalist Today that exist 100 years in the future, and you're reading essays by a journalist named Dave Baker, who's obsessed with a TV show called Mary-Tyler Moorehawk that only lasted for 9 episodes, and he's like, I'm gonna figure out why this show ended, because in this near future, physical objects have been outlawed, and therefore the idea of story has kind of eroded to a certain degree. Like, people don't watch TV, they don't read books, they don't consume music or film really in the same way that they did. And so because of that, our cultural memory has kind of degraded, and we don't really understand what a story is anymore, except for this very small group of people called physicalists who are obsessed with old media and like trade comics and buy movies in these weird like subterranean swap meets. And so this journalist is like a part of this community, and he's trying to figure out who created this TV show. And then he comes across the revelation that the person who created the TV show was also named Dave Baker. And it sends him off on a weird thing, man. He's on a weird adventure, dude.
I mean, hey, I dig it. So you mentioned a few things that just in the opening kind of salvo of the description was Johnny Quest and like Nancy Drew, stuff like that. And as I was reading it, like that was kind of like that mindset that I kind of fell into. I was like, yeah, this is like, like this is kind of, taking me back to, this kind of like a bygone era of like kind of like the kind of like old school, like kind of young, plucky adventurer slash archaeologist slash thrill seeker type of character that is just out there to like get the job done, but like wacky shenanigans are always like kind of like following them no matter where they go, and they have this really like wild cast of characters that like kind of support them. And I will say that there's something you did with this comic that I wish more comics did. It's something I wish more comics did, and it's the like full disclosure, I'm in my 40s now. I don't have time to be remembering like every single bit of minutia when it comes to a lot of things. So like whenever I'm reading something new and like it kind of makes it easy for me to follow along, that just sings to me. So like every chapter, there's always like this section where like you just kind of give the rundown of like, hey, here's the characters that you're going to potentially meet in this chapter. Here's a little like and not like super detailed, but just enough to be like, hey, just in case, if you see a name, you read a name, maybe you don't know who it is, maybe it's a character you haven't met yet, but now you know. And like I thought that was actually a really cool addition to that. I wish more comics did it. I really do.
Yeah, I think there's the thing that you're talking about obviously is there's a footnote mechanic in the book that runs through both paths, right? And so some of the stuff is like harkening back to the 1960s Silver Age way that editors' notes would be like, oh, if you want to learn more about this guy, read X number of Y issues. But also in the prose sections, there's very lengthy and discursive footnotes that kind of chronicle the history of the future and how we got to that point. And also they talk a lot about the biographies of the people who were responsible for making the television show and being producers on it, and the head of the studio, and all of these kind of like quirky characters that are coming in and out of the environment. And a lot of that stuff, it does come from comics history. And then also, I read a lot of weird experimental novels and stuff. And so some of that stuff comes from there, like I specifically, I love this book written by an author named Mark Z. Danielewski, which is called House of Leaves. And it's a book that's about it's about a house that's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, and a man who starts filming a documentary where he gets lost in his own house. And then that documentary gets found by a blind film student in graduate school named Zampano, who writes a thesis paper about the documentary. And then that thesis paper gets found by a tattoo artist in the 90s living in a shitty apartment over on Melrose. And that guy is reading all of this. And so you're reading that guy's notes. And there's all these footnotes and, kind of like, hand scrawled like, oh, this is interesting, this is really strange, things added on top of the layers of the narrative and the meta narrative. And so when I was reading that, and also David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest and his essays Consider the Lobster and A Supposedly Fun Thing I'll Never Do Again, I was like, oh, these guys are using prose and they're like fracturing the picture plane of the paper like the way comics is, where comics is an image and then a gutter and then an image, and they're using text and then space and then text, and the space is basically a gutter. And so they're taking those two kind of sometimes diametrically opposed, sometimes complementary narrative threads, and they're causing the reader to draw comparisons and mental kind of through lines that maybe are there or maybe aren't there. And I was like, this could be a really interesting way of like making a comic, in air quotes, out of prose, and using prose to deepen and make comics more dense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's I like that because it, you have this like this narrative that like kind of it flows through, and like it just every piece of it like once you realize what's going on, because like I say you kind of get those in the in between spots of like the chapters, and like it all flows together. Like once you realize, like, because once it came up the first time, I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then like as I was going through, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm here. I'm following now. But like I really like the character of Mary-Tyler Moorehawk, who she's a very interesting character, just in the fact that like she contains multitudes of personality. Like there are moments where like she's doing like her adventuring, and she's trying to get the artifact, or they're going into the tunnels or into the underground, and it's like whenever she's not here for something, like it becomes very obvious. Like she's very open about what she doesn't like, what she's afraid of, the things that she doesn't want to interact with. And even like her attitude towards cursing, I thought was funny. Very
hey man, sour apples, baby, sour apples.
Sour apples. I was like, it's kind of like it's one of those that like when it first happened, I was like, oh, okay. And then like it's not like a one-time thing. It comes back up again later at various points. But
it's
like
a runner,
it was like it was kind of like an old friend of mine. His something he used to say around his son when he didn't want to curse. He would always say "mother chicken," which was stand-in for motherfucker. But so whenever he wanted to say it, but he was around his son when he was he says it now, but when the kid was little, he would always say that in its place. He would say "mother chicken." So like so like when I saw Mary-Tyler say sour apples the first time, that was the first thing I thought about. So like I already kind of had a frame of reference, so just it made it that much more interesting to me in that regard. But the main thing that I find very interesting about this is not even just the narrative style, but I liked how striking the visual of it was. Because it's a very like kind of stylized, it's a very stylized look for all the characters. It kind of like in some ways it kind of reminds me of like some of the ways you would see, not every character, but like I'm trying to think of like what's a very good example. You know what? Boom, that's the one, and that's the one I'm gonna go with. It's kind of got like it, in some cases, depending on the character, kind of has manga vibes, but also at the same time has like some old school cartoonist vibes. There are like every character is like here. I don't want to pull this up because I want everybody to see what I'm talking about here. Here we're gonna I'm gonna throw this up on the screen just for a bit, if it will let me, and I don't think it's going to, but we're gonna do it anyway. Here, it's trying to show me a blank screen, but we're going to fix that. Bam! There we go.
Look at that.
That is how we roll, baby.
Yeah.
But no, like every character here, I want to zoom this in just so you guys can see it as well. But like, yeah, every character has like a distinct look, and I really like that. Like everybody is different. Everybody has like when you see them, you won't confuse them for another character. Like every character, like you look at him, you say, "Yep, that's that character." Like there's no real like oh, okay, yeah, this character. Wait, is this character the same as this other? No, I'm not sure. No, there's none of that. It's exactly what it should be, the way the gods intended.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I think you're totally right on the manga comparison specifically because I love people like Shotaro Ishinomori and Katsuhiro Otomo and Go Nagai, a lot of those 70s, early 80s mangaka I really enjoy, and also like a lot of Franco-Belgian and French cartoonists. I really like François Bloch. I really like Mobius. I really like Hergé, the creator of Tintin. I think that's pretty. Like, it's pretty apparent, and it's like, oh yeah, it's Tintin, totally.
The fact that you bringing up Tintin, that was actually kind of what was like in the back of my head, but like I couldn't like vocalize it. So yes, all of those old school like kind of, I guess, I don't know, would you consider Tintin like pulp? But I guess it was like in the pulp era, I guess, but it wasn't like a pulp.
Yeah, I mean,
like
he's
it wasn't like
more
a pulp like comic or anything like that. It wasn't like
I would put him more in the kind of like kid adventurer genre that we were talking about, like the Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew,
right?
But I love Tintin. In fact, I was living in France for a while earlier this year or last year, 2023, and we had a book come out in French while I was there, so we did a little signing tour, which was really fun. And one of the signing tours was locations was near Belgium, so I was like, can we fucking take like a week and just go to Belgium? So we went to Belgium, and there's a museum. There's a whole like Hergé museum in Belgium. Like it was just so cool. And they have all his original artwork there and a big statue of him out front and all kinds of crazy stuff. They have like the submersible from Secret of the Unicorn, the killer whale submersible that Tintin rides in. And it's like a full scale, like you can just stand next to it. Oh man, it was so cool. It was so cool. But yes, I love Tintin.
Yeah, it's like it was weird to me because Tintin was one of those things that, like, I remember when I was a kid and I think they had brought back Tintin.
The animated show?
They brought it back as an animated series, and I remember like seeing it for the first time. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And being a kid, thinking that everything you see, you're seeing it for the first time, or that it's something that's brand new. If it's brand new to you, then yeah, it's got to be brand new to everybody. And my mother, who comes in the room as I'm watching it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this was the thing." Yeah. And I was like, "Excuse me, what do you mean? This is my thing. This isn't old." And now, like I'm getting it back twofold because now my daughter does that to me. It's like we watch something like if she sees it for the first time, it's brand new to her, so it's brand new to everybody. But yeah, I really like it. I like the dynamic of all the of your principal characters in this, because while yes, you do have Mary-Tyler, but you also have the other supporting characters around her that are kind of like helping her through her journey, which and I think this is where I actually saw like when the initial Johnny Quest vibe hit me is with the character, I believe her name's Roxy.
Oh yeah, Roxy Racer. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, so I was like, Mary-Tyler has like kind of like the elder stateswoman, who is kind of like kind of ushering her through this.
It's pretty much wearing the influences on the sleeve. Like,
yeah,
it's not,
which I thought that was
like
cool.
Roxy Racer is my version of a Race Bannon. She's she's a little bit grumpy, but she loves MTMH and Cutie Boy, and she's kind of a surrogate parental figure, but also she's a guard sent by the military to make sure that they don't get into too much trouble. And now that Rosemary Moorehawk is no longer with us, she's the the person that's helping this, she's the person that's helping the evolution of Mary-Tyler Moorehawk into a young adult happen. And, maybe isn't always perfect and hands her a sidearm when they're about to go to the North Pole. It's like, I'm like a 12-year-old. Why are you giving me a gun? And she's like, because like magical, zealots after us. Like, we live in a world, a traditional morality doesn't apply, my friend.
Yeah. Which I thought was really cool. I thought that was really cool. The dynamic there was like, it's like the vibe, like, yeah, the race Bannon vibe is definitely there, but like at the same time, it's kind of different just because of the nature of who Mary-Tyler Moorehawk is, and just like it's and then also you mentioned Cutie Boy, who is like the like kind of like just the robot sidekick character who like just kind of hanging, it's kind of there, kind of has a more, I guess maybe even where I kind of feel like where Mary-Tyler Moorehawk, she's more of a she kind of like in a lot of ways she kind of reminds me of my daughter in a lot of respects, because my daughter, very young but incredibly smart and kind of like almost has like an old soul. So like, there's certain aspects of things about life that she gets more than your average child. And I kind of feel like that's how, because of the world that, Mary is in, she kind of has to be that. Like she kind of has to, she's, not necessarily saying that, oh, she's a grizzled vet now because of the things she's experienced, but just like, she's a character who she's lived.
Yeah, totally.
She's lived. Yeah. So Cutie Boy is kind of the way you keep that, kind of that, I guess that almost, I don't want to say childlike aspect, but just kind of like that youthfulness that maybe Mary-Tyler would lack as a result of the fact that like, oh, I'm getting thrown into danger all the time. So I thought that was really cool too. But like, what was we talked about inspirations and stuff like that, but one of the things I wanted to ask you about the book was, so this is something that I feel is really cool to not just read, but like as a person who loves comics and kind of considers himself I won't coin the phrase comic historian. That's already taken. But still a comics historian nonetheless. I really always kind of get interested in like the behind the scenes, especially as I've been making my own comic. And when I saw like everything you had done, like so help me out with that. Like, where in the beginning was this something that you already knew that you were gonna do, like from cover to cover, start to finish, like all on you? Like, was that when did that?
Are you asking? Like, did I know that I was gonna do the future stuff, the physical as today stuff?
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, the whole like everything, like from like whether it's from the art of it to the to everything else. Like what, like when did you decide on that?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I feel like this. I've been working on this book for probably about like 5 years ish.
Oh wow!
And so, like I was making it last time when we were talking. Like I was like actively working.
So that
on
far
it.
back.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
And like, so I feel like, I think my problem is my gut instinct is to always say, wouldn't it be funny if, instead of just doing the idea that I'm doing from start to finish, it's like I'll do the idea and then I'll be like, oh, but wouldn't it be funny if, and then wouldn't it be funny if, and then wouldn't it be funny if, and then you end up with like just ideas sandwiched on top of each other in this really dense layered cake of maybe it's good, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not the.
But you're making the thing. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I did. I made the thing, and I think you know, I wanted to make something that was I wanted to make something that was a little more dense. I wanted to make something that was a little bit more literary. I wanted to make something that was a little bit you know, maybe the reach would exceed the grasp. I hope the reach met the grasp, but I wanted to make something that was like, I really want to swing for the fences. And it was pretty difficult to get publishers to bite and say, oh, you know what, we will publish this novel from the future mixed with a comic. You know, like it was, you know, and I have to say, you know, Chris Staros at Top Shelf saw it and he got it, and he was just like, yeah, man, this is weird, this is unique, this is different, it's off the beaten path, it's a little bit more literary, and I think we should give it a shot. I don't know if it'll work, but let's try. And I just think the world of him that he would go out on a limb and say, let's do it, you know, when everyone else didn't, you know. And I understand saying no to this project. It's really strange. It's a, you know,
it's not your usual like, hey, I'm going into the comic book shop and I'm gonna pick up the new Batman. Ooh, what's this over here? It's not like one of those. Like it's something that, like,
and I mean, just look how
it's
thick
different.
it is.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, no, that
know?
it's that book is very, very, very dense with material. And
like
it's good. It's all good. But it's just like, yeah, I think that's actually, like I said, that's what actually brought me in, though, is that, like, it was very different. It wasn't my typical read. And it's not to say, like, a lot of you guys in the chat, you've been with the channel for a while, you guys know, while I cover a lot of, like, cape related comics, I read probably more non-cape stuff than I actually ever talk about. But, like, yeah, there's all kinds of stories out there, and I love I love when I see something that's just not what I'm normally reading. Like, it's not the same old. It's something that's actually trying to do something that maybe, you know, no one else has, you know, done before, or to, you know, to paraphrase Star Trek, boldly go. You know, where no one's gone before, you know, with the medium. So yeah, I honestly, like, yeah, I'm glad that they took a chance, because it's something that, yeah.
I worked on this shit for so long, and it really looked like no one was gonna publish it. Like, it really looked like it was like, okay, I'm gonna self-publish this, and we'll see how it goes. But the fact that, you know, it has been released, and the fact that it's been getting really positive reviews, you know, fucking, it got a starred review in Publishers Weekly, and like,
what?
Dude, like, and the last line of the review is like, this whirlwind of a graphic novel will be sure to please fans of Philip K. Dick or David Foster Wallace. And I was like, what?
It's like that's not the review I was expecting, but I mean,
no, frankly,
thanks.
not that I was just expecting it. I was expecting nobody to get it. You know, I was expecting it to be like, oh, in like 5 years, someone will come up to me at a convention and be like, man, I loved that book. That was really weird. I wish people had really kind of like got it at the time. And the fact that it is being positively received to whatever degree that it is, it's so incredibly rewarding.
Well, I think for me, just the big thing is that it's fun. It's a fun story. It's a fun story about fun characters, and it also has an air of seriousness to it, but it has an air of wonder. And like, you know, whenever someone can take you know, me on this, you know, on a journey where I can just kind of just go with the flow, and, you know, kind of just get immersed in everything going on around me, I think it's a good thing. I don't care whether it's a sci-fi story or an action story, a drama, a thriller, horror, whatever. Like, it just, you know, tell me a story, tell me something good, maybe something I haven't seen before or read or, you know, heard before or whatever. And even if it is in some ways, as long as, like, you know, the direction of it is going a very, whatever way, like a way that's specific enough that like I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go with this. I think that's pretty cool. Like, not to mention just I'm still tripping off the fact that dude, Publishers Weekly is like it's just
nuts,
out
man.
here.
Nuts,
like
dude.
what was like was that like was that the sign? Was that like the signs like
I mean, yeah, man, it was one of those things where like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. And for a long time, I think you're right, and it buoys my soul to hear you say that it's filled with wonder and it's this exciting adventure that whisked you away to another world. And I think that is in the book, but I think there's also a level of mania and depression and frustration and sadness in those future segments that I think sometimes people think that that's commentary when it's just that was my lived experience making the book.
Yeah.
Because it was so difficult and it was so existentially tormenting. And I don't think you have to suffer for your art. I think you don't have to do that. That being said, I think I did suffer making this thing. I have not suffered making everything I've made, but for this thing I did. And I don't know if that made it better or worse or different than it would have been otherwise, but seeing that Publishers Weekly review and having them completely get that I was trying to do like a David Foster Wallace thing, or do something influenced by him, was so rewarding because, I mean, I love his work, and two, I want there to be a space for strange, literary, unconventional books. And this is definitely one of those projects. And for a long time, it just felt like there was no space for it. And now that it might be being received by the powers that be a little bit on the positive side, it's more than I could ever have asked for. It feels unreal. Like, it's so strange to me. Yeah, I was a fool the other day, Ernie, and I went and looked at the Google reads or the Goodreads reviews, and like,
oh, okay,
I was a fool. Don't do that. If anybody out there is a creator, never do it. Never do it. But I did.
Is it the novelist, the writer's equivalent of don't read the YouTube comments?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But like, I did, and a couple of them were really negative. One of them was really great. Somebody was like, I tried to read this, but it was so like the prose was so hard to read. It felt like I was trying to stop myself from throwing up.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what?
Oh, okay. All right.
At least this person's having a reaction to it. At least they're like, it viscerally is affecting them, whether it's negative or positive. At least they're having some sort of kind of push and pull with it.
It's better than indifference.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Like if it's because that's kind of where I fall. I'm like, if you try to enjoy something and you don't, and you have a negative response, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, you felt something, for better or worse.
Honestly, even though that was the only one that was outright negative, most of the reviews were super positive. Most of the reviews completely got what I was doing and were like, oh my God, this person's trying to push the medium in a new direction. Whether it succeeds or fails, I don't know. But like, it's a new thing that he's trying to do, that's so rewarding as an artist, where you're just trying to do something. You're just trying, and it's an experiment. If it works, great. If it doesn't, oh well. You're trying. You're pulling things apart. You're kind of looking at the cogs in the engine and fitting them back together, right? And there's a theme in the book, I think, of kind of like people being lost in a maze of their own making, right? The journalist in the future, Dave Baker, is lost in this maze of ambition where he wishes he was creative, but he doesn't really have the skills because he comes from a time where stories don't really exist, so he wasn't raised on them, so he doesn't have the context. The old man, Dave Baker, is lost in a morass of regret, and like, he felt like this TV show got taken away from him, and he's embittered by it, and it broke his soul, and he kind of went into hiding on this ranch in the middle of nowhere. And then there's, Mary-Tyler Moorehawk, whose family is falling apart, and there's been all this death, and the end of the world is happening, and she's trying to figure out, can she parse all of these things together and fit all the jigsaw puzzles of existence back together in a way where we're all gonna live. The timeline's not gonna end.
I mean, I think I will say this because actually this is because I'll take this opportunity for people if they want to ask questions. Ask questions. I want to go back to some things that some people are saying in the chat right now. We got one here. Oh, let me do this. Bam. It says G Martinez says 5 years of effort, your dedication and indifference to criticism are admirable. Loving your art is about liking art. Success is the cherry on top. That is
I completely agree.
Yeah, that is 100%. 100%.
And also, I want to drill down on that in a second and just say that to me, success needs to be defined by the artist. Success is something where you define your own sphere of success, right? And for me, the North Star through this whole process was, I want to get this book, even though it's strange and unconventional and unique and maybe non-commercial, maybe like really non-commercial. I want to get it published by a traditional institution, whether that be a book market thing or a comic book company. I just don't want to self-publish this because I want to try and get this idea out to as many people as possible. And that the day we signed the contract with Chris Staros and everything was like, you're good to go, I felt like I could have started crying. Like it is so cool. That for me is success. If the book sells well, great. If it sells poorly, to me, I mean, I want it to sell well, so the publisher feels good about it. And Chris, I don't want to disappoint Daddy Staros. Like
no, not at all.
But
what?
To me,
why would you do such a thing?
That's not a metric. To me, that's not a metric of success. The metric of success is, I set out to do the thing and I did the thing, and this publisher's weekly review or any of the positive response, like it doesn't impact me in one way or the other. I mean, it feels great, but like if it was all negative, I would be like, it doesn't matter. I did the thing I wanted to do and I got it across the finish line, and that is a success.
Oh no. Well, and man, I empathize with everything you are saying in so many ways because, and I think a lot of people don't understand this, that you're pouring yourself into something. You did this for 5 years. You have poured yourself into a piece of art, and that is, I feel like sometimes people take for granted how difficult it is to create something, especially something that is unique, it's nuanced, it's got it's doing something different. Like even when and even to just to kind of put it in perspective, like even to just make the same old to make the same old pan of meatloaf that everyone else is making, even that is difficult. To do it's work, it's time, it's so imagine doing something different for those that that don't have the frame of reference, because the fact that this is a thing that's happening, it's being published, I think is pretty damn amazing, and you were able to get your vision out there. And that, like, honestly, I don't wear hats normally because anyway, they just accentuate how big my head is.
See, you don't need to wear a hat because you got a good shaped head. Hats are for people who have weird shaped heads.
Well, you know what? That is actually that is way nicer than what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I just had a big fat head.
No, boo, boo, no self-hate, boo. Kidding? You got a great head. What are you talking about? You got a Dude, you got a great shape for your head. You got smooth skin. Look at you, man. You could be a Dillard's catalog model,
Oh wait, hold
bro.
on.
I can see you.
Oh, I gotta get the
Yeah,
wait.
fucking out here with a little suit on, a little
See,
t-shirt action.
I wish that might be easier than what I try to do.
Also, can we talk about for a second? Why do we say Dillard's catalog? Do people go to Dillard's anymore?
Wait, you know what? I was
thing?
actually just sitting here thinking about. I was like, when was the last time I've been in a Dillard's?
Dude, I couldn't tell you the last time I was in a Dillard's. I couldn't even tell you the last time I
time?
saw a Dillard's. I couldn't tell you the last time I was in a mall.
Okay, so look, full disclosure, I have been in a mall within the last 2 weeks, and I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you if they still have. I can't even tell you if JC Penney is still a thing.
I'm gonna Google this. Is Dillard's still a thing? Did they go bankrupt?
You know, if they did, none of it would surprise
Oh
me.
no, they're still a company, dude. They're still a company.
They're
Still a company. They're still listed on the NASDAQ too. Apparently, though, they're down $1.72 their stock price as of today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what? I'll
Dude,
take it.
I think this is a great
take
career
it.
for you. I think Dillard's is gonna really just love you. I think you're gonna be the face of Dillard's soon. It's gonna be like Hootie and the Blowfish. You're gonna walk down the street and people will be like, "Oh my god, are you Dillard's?
Are you Dillard's?
And
Are
you're
you the
like,
guy that was in
"No,
the
it's just
catalog?"
me."
You see, the
Yeah.
sad thing is, I've reached that point in my YouTube career. I use air quotes because I don't even think it's a job, but I don't think of it as one. But where recognition has become a thing, and I still don't know how to respond to it. So, like, if someone
like people recognize you in public, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
But it's always in the weirdest place. Well, not always, but sometimes it can be in the weirdest places. I've told the story before. Like, I go to McDonald's sometimes, like at 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because why
You
not?
make good choices. The rest of us, yeah.
I make good choices at bad times of the day. That's what I do. I make good choices at bad times of the day. But no, and the guy handed me my food, recognized who I was not prepared for that. Because, like, when people say, "Hey, you look familiar to me," I don't think, "Oh, you know me from YouTube. I am a YouTuber." No, I don't think about that. I think, like, my first thought is, "Oh yeah, maybe did we go to school together, or like, or did you used to work at so and so, or do you hang out at
Dillard catalog shoots?
Yeah, right." Like, honestly, the Dillard's catalog would come up in my mind before YouTube. Like, if that tells you how oblivious I am to,
No, you're not oblivious.
to that
You're
sort
humble,
of thing.
dude. You're humble. You're humble. You're a man
I try
of the
to be.
people.
I try
You're
to
a man of the people, dude. You're out here. You're a literal model. You have your own platform, but you're so humble. You're just like, yeah, I'm just a human, man. I'm just a man of the people.
Yeah, I put my pants on one leg at a time, like everybody else. Okay, I eat food.
That makes one of us.
And breathe
dude.
water.
I got that zipper action, dude. I'm putting on both legs at the same fucking time, bro.
I wish I could put on my pants like just jump right. Like I'd wanted to be like, was it like what the firefighters wear, like where you
totally.
you just like step in, pull up, bam, done. If that was a comfortable fit, I would wear it every day. But I imagine it's not terribly comfortable.
No.
What?
I don't think fire retardant. I don't think fire retardant is really the.
Well, here's one thing I will definitely say, because this is something I probably should have asked you before. Before we went live, or actually when we were in the, which, by the way, it was kind of funny how this all kind of came together. It was a comedy of errors, because we literally could not line up on timing, and I probably should have asked you this. When is Mary-Tyler Moorehawk going to be released?
February 14th, I believe, is the street date.
Okay. And you know what? So true story. I probably couldn't answer that question myself, but I made you do it because so I wouldn't look stupid looking for it. So yes, February the 14th is going to be going down, and I actually have here, and this will be. I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna actually set this up in the chat, and so you guys can go check it out yourself. And here, let's do this. Bam, man! Look at that. Look at the way we do things now. There's going to be a link in the description, as well as a pinned comment. If YouTube will let me. If YouTube will let me. Yeah, pin this message. Bam. There you go. So yeah, there's a pinned comment at the top. You will be able to check that out. For those, well, you know what? I feel terrible because you know what? For those of you on the Twitch side of things, there. And I'm gonna pin. Look at Twitch allowing me to pin things. So there. So you guys have oh, dude, anytime. You guys will you guys, if anything that has come up in this chat is of the least bit of interest to you, you should go check it out because it is definitely worth it. Let's see. And actually, I see here, what was it? Mailman here came in the comments, says, congratulations on this achievement. I'm sure it was insanely gratifying to hold it in your hands for the first time. Yeah. Which, by the way, that's a beautiful cover. That is a very beautiful cover.
It's got the gold embossed
foil.
Logo.
Dude, I like that.
Yeah, man.
I like
it looks
that.
so good.
I like that it has like all like I guess kind of like all like the little after images like like it's kind of flowing like I love that.
Yeah.
Like
MTMH yourself, baby.
Yeah. See, and like I said, you can pick that up. Once again, it is. I think the link I put in there was for Amazon.com. But yeah, you can go pick this up. It will be released not that far from now, actually, in about 10 more days. You can pick it up. You either pick up the hardcover, and I think there's a Kindle version. Either way, still go check it out because it is, like I said, it's an insanely fun read. It's an insanely fun read. Even when it goes a little dark, it's still insanely fun. It's a good ride. But like I can honestly attest I did not need therapy after. But
one of us.
that was one of, hey, for you though, for the amount of yourself and the love and energy that you put into it, you know what? That's okay. Mental health is important. Mental health is important.
Yeah.
I will. There's a story that Carter and I are going to be talking about a little later that I didn't realize someone had suffered for their art with, and we're gonna be talking about the anime Solo Leveling here in just a little bit. But I did not know that the artist for that series had recently died. And some where the circumstances surrounding it are kind of hearsay, probably at best. But some people have cited that basically he just overworked himself. So yeah, I definitely will tell people, man, don't take your mental health, your physical health incredibly serious, even when you're doing something that you enjoy. Because shit happens. But like I said, I guess let me go back here real quick because I would say let's see let's see, what does here. Actually, we got one from we got one here from my boy Quinn McGowan out here. He says, what and he's referring to you, he says, what do you feel is the most rewarding part of finding success in your own voices? Like having put yourself out here like this. What do you feel is the most rewarding part of it?
Good question. I think I would say, I've made a bunch of comics at this point, both collaboratively and individually. And also on the collaborator front, I want to say that all the design in the book was done by Mike Lopez, and all the photos in the book were taken by David Catalano, and they're both immensely talented individuals, and the book would not be what it is without them.
Dude, giving props. I love to see it.
Yeah. But I think I honestly think it comes back to what we were talking about before of like defining what success means to you. And so to me, success was getting across the finish line and getting it published, and finding somebody that would take a real risk in something this strange and avant-garde. And any of the positive or good things that have happened or might happen in the future post that are just unreal to me. It really doesn't feel real. Like it feels like this is just I was certain that it would come out and no one would like it, and that would be okay. That's what I was doing. But the fact that it's comes out and people seem to enjoy it is like, what?
I mean, I tip my hat. I tip my, like I said, I tip my, I don't have a hat, but I would tip it. I would tip it if I had one. Just because, like I said, I love seeing people put themselves out there, tell the story they want to tell, and that story, finding its audience, finding the people who believe in it and want it to succeed. So I like I said, I'm super proud of what you did with this, especially now knowing how long you had been working on it.
Even to the degree that, like, I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but whatever. This was so hard to make also because I didn't have a computer for like a long stretch. My computer died, so I had to get up at like 5:30 in the morning to go to my day job, and I would write all the stuff. I would write the book on the computers at the day job before everybody came into work, and then like just hope that no one noticed.
It's like shh. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll get you those deliverables soon. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm doing TPS reports. Don't worry about it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, I think that just kind of further cements to me the level of dedication though, because I feel like when you're a writer, you're going to write that story. You're going to write that story wherever you can. And if it means like having to get up early to, go to work just to get it done, then that just, like, honestly, that to me right there was just a sign that, this shit was going to happen. You were going to make this happen, like, regardless. Like, it would have. It would have happened in some way, right? Like, I would have made the book and I would have brought it across the finish line and it would exist in some form. But there's, for better or for worse, there just is a longer life expectancy to projects when they have the anointment of a larger, typically corporate backing, right? Like, it sucks, but it's just true. Like my book never would have found its way to the reviewer at Publishers Weekly if I had self-published it. They don't evaluate self-published books. And I think that's sad because there's a lot of good, talented people out there, yourself included, who I feel like you said, it sucks because and I don't like saying this way because it sounds like super negative, but like, people always like to say, oh, you sold out. It's like, well, it's not really selling out if you're trying to, you're trying to make sure you put this in front of like the most people that you could possibly get. And yeah, it's just being honest with yourself. If you self-publish something, it's not going to get the wide mainstream appeal that
it doesn't have any bearing. It doesn't have any bearing on the quality of the work. It has bearing on the fact that like I don't have access to a distribution network.
Right. Like it's as simple as that. Like not having the access. You don't have the access. So what are you supposed to do at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, in some way you do kind of have to be like, hey, who's going to help me make this a reality? And that's not, and like I said, it's not a bad thing.
No, but that's also, at all. I mean, that's also a big, like, there's a running chunk of the book that there's a theme that runs through all of the footnotes about how the comics industry could be better about taking care of its own, right? And that manifests in the way that the show gets canceled. It manifests in the way that the show gets adapted and the creator kind of gets pushed to the side. It manifests in the history of our world, and like there's a bunch of history in the footnotes about the various people who've had lawsuits against various comic book publishers because Siegel and Schuster sold Superman for $138. Like, that's not right. What happened to truth, justice, and the American way? Like, we should all want these people to be taken care of. And and thankfully, since there've been some court cases and some of these people and their families have come to agreements with these larger corporate entities, and they are being taken care of now, which is good. But there's still room to do more. There's, all of these publishers really, like, they don't look out for the creative class, and it's a dire situation, I think, because this is how we get ideas out into the cultural mainstream. Comics is a direct conduit from imagination to public consumption, and it's a beautiful medium that needs to be nurtured and fueled. And the fact that they don't have contracts that permit creators to share in the success, I don't know, man. I don't think you're going to get the best work from people that way.
No. I mean, well, it's like being invited to a party, but you have to stay outside. Like, you don't get to come in and hang out at the party, or inside where the party's actually happening. You have to hang out outside where there's really nothing going on. That's what I imagine that would feel like. And yeah, we've seen some changes over the years. I don't think it's enough, but it's a start in the right direction. I feel like, there are two, I invoke this name a lot on this show, but there's too many Bill Fingers out there, people who went unsung for, so many years and didn't get their flowers until like after the fact. Like, they're not around to see it, which is why, I used to always give Marvel a hard time about Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and so on and so forth. There's a lot of people out there that were making stuff that has enriched our lives, our childhoods, our adulthoods, and have made corporations a lot of money, but not for the people who actually did the work. Which I think is sad. It's a sad state of affairs. When the thing you love, you realize doesn't, love it does. It's not the way you want it to be. It's not the perfect thing you hoped it would be. In terms of how other people are faring off that. But
it's a real shame, man. It's a real black spot on the history of the medium that so many of these people are not being looked out for. And some of that is because a lot of comic book people don't have good business acumen. I mean, just plain and simple.
That is
some
true.
of it's that.
Well, it's the wide-eyed. Oh, I just like kind of like you would hear these stories. Oh, I moved to Hollywood, and a Hollywood producer said they liked my script, And like, and it's kind of that it's kind of that level of business sense that you probably see a lot, especially like in the older days. Like there's a lot of handshake agreements, a lot of promises, a lot of oh yeah, when this happens, oh man, just you wait. And like, and then the waiting happens, the money never comes, and then lawyers have to get involved, and sometimes it's decades after the fact. People have probably passed on and their families are dealing with it, like in the case of a lot of these lately. So yeah, it just, yeah, man, it's, I don't know, it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah, I mean, the media is literally founded by gangsters. Like,
Yeah.
Harry Donenfeld, who was the publisher of DC Comics for many years, he bought the printing press that National Publications, which eventually became DC, used to print all their initial pulps and all of the comic stuff on, with money from Jack Cohen, the rum runner. And Jack Cohen was his like door neighbor, and they like growing up, they were best friends. So this is their way to launder the money to, them both be legitimate. And I think that there's a mobsterism and a corruption inherent in a lot of the tactics of the history of the medium, specifically the accountant Jack Leibowitz at National/DC, who came up with the idea of tethering payments, where he wouldn't pay people for new contracts by themselves. He would pay them in concert with stuff they'd already done. So like the Superman contract, it's $138 for the rights to Superman, but it's also like 200 and something odd dollars for the pages they'd already turned in for Slam Bradley. So because of that, if you wanted to get paid for your, whatever 1937 money translates to today, 10 grand, 5 grand, whatever it is, you had to sign the back of the check, and the back of the check said, I officially renounce all rights to all of the stuff I've created, right? So you couldn't just not cash your check for Superman and fight for it, because you needed the Slam Bradley money, which you'd already signed over, but you knew that you needed this money to pay rent this week.
Yeah,
it's
to
really
survive. Yeah, just to survive.
Yeah, to survive.
Like it was like I said, the comics industry is full of scummy practices.
And it still is today.
Still
like,
is.
It's not like it stopped.
Oh yeah, no, they've I think they've just gotten better at obfuscating.
Totally.
The scummy. Yeah, it's not that they went away. We just don't see it as often. But I do always appreciate that there are people out there willing to say something about it. Like to.
But there's also but I think that, I mean, look, there's a lot of bad apples currently in the proverbial tank with bobbing in the water, whatever the mixed metaphor. There's a lot of people that are not in it for the right reasons, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, right? Like if they're making comics that connect with people and they're selling well, then fuck it, great, party on, Garth.
It's like a rising tide lifts all ships, rising tide lifts all ships, but it's like, it's like, you know what? I'm like, look, man, if people are getting to have their voices heard, their vision seen, I'm like, you know what? Hey, I was like, you know what? Whatever choices they made, that's on them. I will just endeavor I will endeavor to learn from their process.
And I think
that's all you can do.
I think there's also something to be said of like, there's an amazing trough of people who are in it for the right reasons and who are trying to make things better and treat creators better and publish, in a way that is morally permissible.
Yes.
It's the Dickensian quote, best of times, worst of times. There's always going to be shit and there's always going to be great stuff. So it's just, which side of that fence do you choose to, place your emphasis on, glass half full, glass half empty style.
Well, I will definitely say that I as not gonna speak for anybody else, but obviously the reviews are out there, so there's people out there who feel the same way I do. I feel like you did you did the thing. You did the thing, you did it the right way, and I for one, I applaud that. But that said, I think yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the link to Mary-Tyler Moorehawk is in the description. It is pinned to the top of the chat, both on YouTube and on Twitch when this goes up on Spotify. It will also, for those our gentle listeners, you will also see it in the description for the podcast as well. So, that said, is there anything else you want to say before we head out?
I guess, if you like things like Infinite Jest, Johnny Quest, House of Leaves, Raw Shark Texts, I don't know, if you like weird, if you like the Venture Brothers, maybe you would like my book. I don't know. I worked really hard on it. It took me 5 years. I'm very proud of it. I hope that it finds a reader base. And I'm very honored to be here. Thank you for having me. And this was a great conversation. And virtual high five.
Virtual high five. Bam. Well, hey, I will definitely be keeping an eye out for everything you do next. Of course, if you ever have anything else you want to come on and promote, you're always welcome here. And yeah, thank you again for hanging out with me, talking about this comic, and sharing your insight and the behind the scenes, all that good stuff. And yeah, we will. We're gonna take a short break, everyone, and then I'm gonna bring it back, and we're gonna talk about solo leveling and maybe one other thing. And yeah, thank you all so much. We will be right back. Keep it locked. Psych. I thought I had Carter back. I do not have Carter back. Here we go. Let me. Oh, you know what it is? Because I turned it off. There you go. Anyway, we're back. We're back. Thank you all for hanging during all of that. We gotta hold on. Wait a minute. Let me Where did my stuff go? Here it is.
All right. While you doing all that, I want to say something real quick because
Go ahead.
there was something in that discussion. Actually,
Oh, you're kind of low.
also, it was also sad what I heard in that interview. I gotta keep it up.
Oh man.
Just because it's crazy to hear that Top Shelf would take a chance on a book like that. Dave is saying that they're looking at him and they're basically saying like, we don't know if it'll work, but let's see.
Right.
Why is it a company that I got to be completely honest here, I have never heard of. I've never heard of Top Shelf.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it that a group, a company, a thing that I have never heard of is more willing to take a chance on something to just see?
Yeah, see if it'll do.
As opposed to companies with millions and billions take chances as well. That is crazy to me that someone that I've never heard of is more so willing to give something a shot and then it do relatively well, as opposed to let's just put him back in the mansion. We know that'll work. Let's just make Peter struggle. We know that'll work. Let's just go back to Superman and the Daily Bugle and being or not Daily Bugle, shit. You know what I meant.
Oh,
let's
Daily
go back
Planet.
to him.
Daily
Planet.
something. The Daily something.
Yeah, let's go back to him and Lois. So it's just it's a great thing that he was given that shot, but at the same time, it's just like wow, other entities need to absolutely step their game up, and let's see what works, or let's see what'll happen, as opposed to the same old, and then you're surprised that there are complaints. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's what nerd large.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just hit the nail on the head because they don't have to, and I'm also thinking about. I guess this would be the first wrestling reference on this show today because I saw it all over Twitter, but I didn't know The Rock came back on SmackDown last night.
Yep, sure did.
And the only reason I even know about this is just because people have like third-party apps for YouTube to see the dislike ratio, and him coming back in the segment that he was in is the most disliked thing in all of WWE YouTube videos.
Well, if I remember correctly, was that the one where people said that like, man, he should have stayed gone because like it was very obvious that he had blown himself up when he was in the ring doing that little.
No, not that. It was what happened on SmackDown last night, where basically Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble again. He looked like he was about to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and he's not. He's actually it's gonna be The Rock and Roman is what it's looking like. So you just won the Royal Rumble. You got your shot to finish your story, and you gave it to The Rock. So I think it's at like, okay, Sir UG in the chat just said it's at 200K dislikes right now. So. But here's the thing with that, just to go with the thing you all were saying, big companies don't take risks because they don't have to. It was something that Triple H, I remember he was saying, where he was like, people will boo that and people will be all online and say that they hate it and this, that, and the third. But they're still selling out shows. They're still selling out arenas. You still, one of my buddies, he wants to go to WrestleMania, but he was mad as hell when he saw that those tickets in Philly was $600 for the nosebleeds. But there are people that are going to pay that to boo. There are going to be people that are going to pay that to say CM Punk or say what. And it's just, I'm basically answering my own thing in saying that I wish some of these bigger companies would take those risks. But when you have people that'll buy a comic that they don't like, but because it's the X-Men, because it's Superman, because it's Batman, because it's Wonder Woman, because it's Captain Marvel, you see what I'm saying?
Well,
there's no room.
It goes back to a thing I say all the time. Say it with me, kiddies. Fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't say a douche now. You was talking about glazing earlier. You was just in a freak vibe.
Oh yeah, but it's true though. It's true. Companies have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders, so they ain't ever going to do shit they ain't got to, and they ain't ever going to take a chance because they have to ensure those shareholders get their bag. And that, like right there, like honestly, no one does it for the love of the game. No one does it, for anything. Yeah, owners, equity.
But whole point of me
Cash rules.
Whole point of me saying all that shit was more so. It would have been. I think it would have been dope if a Marvel or an Image or a DC actually gave. A shot as opposed. You know what I'm saying? So
Like,
I think that would have been. I think that would have been dope.
If like honestly, I felt it. Maybe a Boom Studios or Image Comics or somebody like that would be like. Yeah, it always disheartens me when when people don't want to take a chance on something because maybe it's too weird or maybe it's too out there or whatever. But it's like what doing weird and out there. I feel is not. It shouldn't be like weird shouldn't be the pejorative that it is when it comes to creativity. Like, because I mean, let's be weird or let's be real. A lot of stuff is weird when like I said this on Nerds of Culture Thursday. Everything sounds fucking ridiculous when you try to explain it. Yeah. There's nothing you can try to break down for me that I won't be able to look at and go, but why though? Yeah. Or that sounds dumb, or that sounds kind of weird.
But I mean, at the end of it all, like, I guess I got a new graphic novel I got to check out. I've been on a lot. I've been on a graphic novel kick recently anyway. Just for all of you fans that are, or just for all you people that are fans of the Telltale Walking Dead series. I don't know if any of you know. It's more so just an FYI. There are 2 graphic novels out, I think, at this point about Clementine that take place after the Telltale series. So if you are a fan of that character, you got 2 different graphic novels you need to go grab to see what's going on after that, and those are solid books all around. So yeah, I gotta add Mary-Tyler Moorehawk to that rotation to see how that book is. But yeah. Just an FYI for you people.
I would say, speaking of, this has kind of been my thing as of late. I bought this for my daughter the other day.
Okay.
This is, for those that don't know, this is basically the first.
I did see you struggling to open that motherfucker up, though. Don't think I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. This is 2 are missing because she's reading one, I'm reading one of the others.
It's a box set of My Hero for all you audiophiles out there.
Yeah, it's the first 20 volumes. It's heavy. It's a heavy thing. Because I think I got one. Like, I'm going back and rereading it, so this is where I'm at right now. If that tells you anything. Yeah. So that has been a thing, and a good segue too, because. Well, actually, no. First, let's hit some super chats, because we had one that we couldn't really address right away because it was literally sent when you were gone. But we're going to talk about it now. We got one here from Malik Young with the $20. Says, let's see here. Says, hey, Blerd Coens, Carter, how is Krakoa fascist? It's scorched earth. Oh, you mean before Orcus trampled it beneath a boot heel? Just putting my pennies in the collection plate. It's been a while. Man, get them likes up, y'all.
Man, I don't know. Ask the goof that made that YouTube comment on the Blerd Without Fear video. It's literally on his newest goddamn video. You know what's funny? It was to throw a shot at modern X-Men fans on an Avengers Twilight video.
which I found incredibly disturbing. I found incredibly. It's like that. It's like, dude. I was like, why are you?
But yeah, you would have to go. And I don't want to say his name. I would rather you all go boosted up them Blerd Without Fear views. Go click on the video. You will see the comment. You'll see it there.
Man.
You'll see it there.
Speaking of $20, we also got another $20 from Tariq Walker. Says that was a great conversation. I've been watching for a while. I appreciate what you guys are doing and your perspectives. Thank you for that. I try. I'm not perfect at it, but I try to do the best I can. It's not a. It's a. I would, if I have my druthers, and I technically do dictate this. So I don't know why I'm acting like I don't, but when people want to talk to me, I enjoy talking to them. People who don't want to talk to me but are doing so anyway, I don't want to talk to because those aren't good conversations. I jest because it's there was a video I saw from one of my contemporaries. They did a video recently with Christopher Priest, and it was kind of funny because the thumbnail said "Dynamite is making me do this interview."
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those deals where like I have talked to some creators in the past, not necessarily on the Blerd Cave, but there have been some that it was strictly business. Like they didn't want to talk to me. It was that they knew they had to talk to me. So yeah. But yeah, take that how you want to.
Mailman wants to know if you've ordered a box of the One Piece series as well, because it'll be delivered in a dump truck.
I see that.
Okay, real quick. Y-Tube Noob said something that I will actually agree with. If people want new stuff, support more books outside the big two.
Yes.
This is like wanting Burger King and McDonald's to change the menu as if you don't have other options. That's why in the Hickman Avengers era, that's why I'm just now going to read that, because I was reading New Avengers and then it got to a point during the Infinity event and all that good stuff. I'm just like, okay, I'm good. And then someone recommended Why the Last Man to me, and then someone I had my sister in the comic shop. It was actually at Comics and Collectibles. It was one of their free comic book days, and they had a deluxe hardcover of Chew, and she thought it was, for whatever reason, because girls are weird, she thought that Chew being the name of a book was fucking hilarious. So
I mean, it's a good book.
I bought that for her, and then I hear her saying how nasty and gross it is, but she couldn't stop reading it because if you all don't know the whole premise of Chew, I ain't gonna tell you. Go read it. It's actually
go read
really,
it for
really
yourself.
But
just know you're not ready for what it is.
You ain't, but you have to open yourself up to ridiculousness to read Chew. But point being, that was how I was brought in to Image. And then I had someone recommend me Invincible, which Invincible, it was kind of like how you felt about One Piece for a while, because the shelf that they had for Invincible at Comics and Collectibles was right when you open the front door, but it was a shitload of trades, and that seemed like that was way too many books for me to read. So I didn't touch them. I went right to the other stuff. That's how I found other Image books. That's how I found out about Mark Waid with Irredeemable, because I didn't want to. I wanted to take a break from Marvel. I knew that his Daredevil was solid, but I wanted to take a break. So that's how I found out about Irredeemable and Incorruptible, and that's how I found out about The Cape, and that's how I found out about Sandman and all the other stuff. So yeah, he's absolutely right, man. If you want new stuff, you really have to go out. I mean, hell, me doing the deep dive into Valiant then led to a deep dive into Dark Horse, which then led into a huge deep dive into Valiant, because I ended up coming at the right time on Valiant because they had just done their new relaunch. So everything was number one.
Everything was new.
Didn't have to read shit. So I didn't have to catch up with nothing. So yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that is honestly my thought process on the whole thing. You want new, go get new. If you're not going to get new going back and reading 18 issues of Batman they release every week. You're not going to get new off of the 4 different Spider-Man books that you picking up every week. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It ain't. You're going to have to step outside your comfort zone.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
Have to.
And you have to realize, because it's the same with films, it's the same with gaming. With gaming, when you spend your money on something, if you don't enjoy it, now you know you don't enjoy it. You have spent your money on worse shit than what you think you might have been interested in. So you just got to really open your palate up, man. You really, really have to. I've said that shit too many times on here when it comes to music, because I didn't want to be one of them motherfuckers that just, even being from Memphis, I didn't just want to be rap, 3-6, blues, BB King, all that. You have to open your palate up, man. You really have to, man, fuck it. I'll give it a try. You really got to be like that. You really, really, really have to be like that. You can't have me or an Ernie or a Rob or a Sal or a Dope Spill tell you to go do something. You have to do that. Like, you have to do that.
Yeah, no, you have to. You have to do it. You have to do it for yourself, if no one else. Myth or idea? Yes, we did earlier. Not any grand detail, but I guess I can say this. We both kept bringing up the movie Action Jackson. It's not my favorite Carl Weathers movie, but I think it was the moment where like I was really proud for Carl Weathers, because I was like, man, he's getting his own movie. Like, where he's like the star, he's not like playing second fiddle to like Schwarzenegger or Stallone or anyone else. I was like, dude, that's really cool. And it's a good fun movie. I actually recommend it to anyone. But I will also say one of like my introduction to Carl Weathers was Predator. So that was the first time I'd ever seen him in anything. So when I saw that painted the picture for me of the majesty that was Carl Weathers. So yeah.
See, it was actually Rocky for me first. I like something that the Elite X1 said, and then I'll give a shout out to Smoke One Kenobi. The Elite X1 is saying green eggs and ham. Damn it! How you know you don't like it until you try it?
Right? That is no. That's 100%. That is 100% right there.
And nobody except me is saying play a fly ? Listen to me. I said I opened my palette up to listen to other things, and now I'm a fan of other things. I just got through talking about how I was a fan of 30 Seconds to Mars earlier, but play a fly will always be in rotation. But Smoke One Kenobi is saying, Carter, that Flintstones comic you recommended is off the chain. Appreciate that, bro. He's referring to the Flintstones book that DC did when they were doing this whole like Hanna-Barbera thing. So you had the Flintstones comic, which I'm telling y'all, it ain't gonna be what you think. You had what was the name of it? It was Scooby. Was it Scooby Apocalypse?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was called.
Yeah, Scooby Apocalypse was another one. Yeah, but those Hanna-Barbera books was that was a vibe. That was really, really good.
Also, speaking of, I don't know if you've seen, but the early reviews have come out for Thundercats #1.
I have not seen it. I've seen people talking about that movie you and I were interested in seeing, and apparently it ain't Matthew Vaughn's best. Talking about Argyle.
That's what I've heard people saying that. I've actually I've heard mixed reviews, but honestly,
I've seen a lot of mixed.
That's one of those. I'm just gonna go see it for myself, because I don't trust people with Matthew Vaughn movies, because a lot of times I feel Yeah, because if you are a certain type of person, I feel like you're not like, I don't want to make it sound like you just don't get it. But no, I feel like there's certain people who just aren't interested in that sort of thing. Like, it looks silly and fun to me.
It's like Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah, same. Like, not like, and I'll be honest, there are bad Guy Ritchie movies. They do exist, and there are some that aren't necessarily so much bad as they just are not as interesting as other stuff he's made. But you know what?
I want to know, because I want to know what movies you say. I swear to God, we'll fight in the street. I want to know what Guy Ritchie movies you think are bad. I want to know what you got to say.
Oh man. So for me,
how he said it, like it was a whole bunch of the motherfuckers. Did you see how he said it?
No, man, it's not like that.
Like, he had to be like, "Oh, child," like he did. I don't appreciate that.
No. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. No. So okay. So I'm actually pulling up his filmography just to make sure that like I'm not like calling him out of turn on some shit.
Okay.
I will say that I am looking very forward to the movie he's got coming out, which is also another Henry Cavill joint. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I'm actually looking forward to that one. I was not the hugest fan of King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. I did not like that movie. I liked parts of Sherlock Holmes, both of the Sherlock Holmes movies he made. I never saw Revolver or Swept Away. Rock and Rolla was a movie that I wanted to love, but I only liked. But I feel like his first two films will always be the GOATs. It's Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, and Snatch. Those are always going to be his best movies to me. Just like, unless like the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare just really, because that's got our boy Reacher in it too.
What about? I like that he is getting just roles now.
Also, my boy really Dr. Mabanga. Dr. Mabanga on Strange New Worlds is in that joint too. The black brother that was in there all smooth with the beard and shit. I was like, yeah, let's go.
What about the gentleman?
The gentleman.
Matthew McConaughey.
I didn't see that one. I did not see that one. Was that the one? Wait, was it? Who else was in that with him?
Well, old boy from Sons of Anarchy was in it.
Charlie Hunnam. Okay, yeah. That one I haven't seen. I need to go see that one. That is one I need to see. Like it's not to make it sound like he has a bunch of bad movies. He just has like I've just discovered his movies can be really hit or miss nowadays. Like because what was it? What was the last one?
Witch Doctor's Son. We are not about to have a Meg and Nikki beef right now. We are not.
No. Nothing like that.
But what movie were you asking about?
No, I'm trying to say what was the movie? What was Wrath of Man? Was that the one with Jason Statham?
Yeah, that was the one with Jason Statham where his son got killed and he works for like one of those armored truck companies like Brinks.
Yeah. Okay. I think I tried to watch it, but I didn't finish it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I finished it. It's not because it wasn't good. I just never got back around to it. I think I started it and I just never got back to it. So yeah, it's not to say like, oh, every fucking movie he makes is like trash. No, it's when I think of Guy Ritchie, I think of his earliest films, and those I'm just like, man, this shit was so raw that like I feel I'm not to say he peaked, but I feel like he set the bar really high for himself, just like off rip. But yes,
so
he has improved.
Lock, Stock, and Snatch are your two.
Yeah, I would say those are my two. Okay. I don't know. It's one of those kind of like you just had to be there when they came out. Like I saw those movies literally when they came out. But no, let's talk. I want to talk about something, because I mentioned a manga earlier.
Yes,
and while I'm not familiar, I'm just going to say it right now. I don't want anyone coming to me trying to ask me questions about the manga because I have not read it. And I don't intend to read it either. So let me just go ahead and put that out there. But I brought up the anime that's making waves right now.
Yeah.
Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is kind of like the new hotness right now. It's just to give you the cliff notes, or rather like just the elevator pitch on the series is it's about a guy, if I'm not mistaken, his name is Jin Sung Woo. And if that name doesn't sound very Japanese, it's because it's not. It's because this is actually not based on a manga. It's actually based on a manhwa, which is a Korean comic. It is basically about a guy who what? What's this man?
YTube Noob literally says what you said to me about this anime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay. And
word for word. That's exactly how you said it.
Word for word, bar for bar. So here's the thing. I will keep it real with you.
Okay.
It is another isekai, and at the same time, it's not another isekai. And the reason why I say that is because of the elevator pitch. This is about a world where, like, the main character isn't being transported to another world that's a video game world or anything like that. The video game world has come to him. So basically, this portal opens up, and all of these fantastical creatures start coming out of it. And then the way the world responds to this is that when that portal opens, a lot of people across the world have what they call an awakening. And each of them, as they awaken to a very specific amount of power when they start out, and they become hunters. And these hunters go out and they try to destroy and kill these monsters that are invading their world. And there's also, they do have instances where they kind of like do transport people to, like, I won't say another world, but into what is effectively an instance. It's like an instance dungeon in like a MMORPG or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting because it is an isekai, but at the same time, it's kind of a flip on the head of it. Isekai has kind of become a dirty word in anime and manga because, like, whenever something takes off, and I was actually talking to Robo about this when we were playing Power World the other night. Whenever something gets really popular in anime and manga, you start seeing so many fucking copycats. And I don't want to say copycats, but some of them are kind of obvious. And a lot of this is because in the industry of anime and manga, there are actually more manga on the shelves than we ever actually see. We only get the ones that are very popular. Like if you go into a Barnes and Noble or a comic shop and you go to their manga section, and you'll see, like, man, all like just wall to wall manga. You think, man, that's a lot of manga. It's actually not true. There's probably 12 to, I would even say, I think I'm even being generous or being, or rather I'm underselling it when I say 12. That's probably close to like 30 times that if you were like going to a comic book shop in Japan. And that's just, it's because and I think that's why anime and manga does so well over here. And this is the thing, it's the dirty thing that people don't want to bring up when they talk about why manga is outselling American comics. It's because you literally only see the good ones. You don't see the bad ones. You don't see all the bad manga that's out there. They don't send that shit over here. They only send their, not to quote Trump, but they only send their best and their brightest. They only send their best and their brightest, basically. But no, Solo Leveling, well, not a manga, it's a manhwa, which, I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, just in terms of where it comes from. But it's also a webcomic, to my understanding. I think that they have reformatted it possibly into a, like, I guess more of a traditional manga. But, like, once again, I'm not interested in that part. I'm only interested in the anime. I saw how many chapters the webcomic had, and I said, no, thank you. It was like 200 something.
Yeah, I'm strictly finna watch the anime.
But
it was a. Only thing I know is it was a Korean webcomic that they then dubbed in Japanese and stuff like that. But no,
it's also dubbed in. Well, they also have a Korean language one as well. Like I think you can select Korean language if you want to.
Gotcha.
But as far as there's 9 volumes of the manga. Let me pull this back up. I had the website pulled up earlier because I just wanted to see. Let's see, latest chapters. There's 200 chapters. I don't know if there's gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna do any more. Well, full disclosure, the artist who drew the comic passed away. So I don't know if they are ever going to. I don't know if they're ever gonna I don't know if it's finished, if it's ended, whatever. And I'll just live in ignorance on that part. But when it comes down to it, this anime, when I mentioned the main character in this, he is unique. Or no, his name is Sung Jin-woo. My bad. Got it backwards. So Sung Jin-woo is a guy who wants to be a hunter, but with his awakening, he didn't really get a lot of power. Like I think they refer to him as an E rank. He's an E rank hunter. He's literally like the weakest of the weak.
Imagine you were already trash, and then you get a DLC buff, and you still trash,
right?
like let's put it in fighting game speak, right? You know what? We can't even put that in shit in fighting. No, we're not gonna do that. But yeah, just imagine you were already F tier, and then Capcom came and gave you a buff. And your ass still in F tier.
You still in F tier. You're just like, bro, you is some smooth. Okay, Zeke Morningstar said the main story is finished.
Okay, that's fine.
So there you go. That's cool.
But it's so easy to read webtoons. I will take your word for it. But like,
it depends. It depends. It depends. Well, okay. I tell you what. The website I found, and I don't know if I once again I could be 100% out of pocket here. Yeah. The website I found, like, I didn't like the way they formatted it because, like, it would the picture would cut off. It would like cut off like in the middle of dialogue. So I don't know if that was like some bootleg site and I just didn't realize it. I assumed because it was like sololeveling.com or some shit like that. I assumed it was a legit one, but apparently maybe if I go read it on Webtoon, I might have a different opinion. But no.
He got a DVD buff. He got a DVD buff. You read them patch notes.
Oh,
like everybody else went up here. But then your walk speed increased from 0.3 to 0.4.
Bruh, stop.
But everybody is like 3.5.
Bruh, stop. Wait. See, okay, so look, Elite X1, I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all need to put some respect on Elite X1 because he knows me. He knows how I am. That man said, just watch the anime. Yeah. he already knew what time it was. He already knew what time it was. He's like, yeah, man, you don't want that life. He's like, you don't want to get up in now. But no, yeah, no. So, okay, so you use the web. Okay, so here, so maybe. Oh, I tell you what I'll do. So you know what? Because I just saw what Rob Taylor said. So apparently, the website I was using, I guess, must be the bootleg one. So I'm out of pocket on that one. He said you use the Webtoon app and all you had to do was scroll. Because okay, so I have the Webtoon app. I've read stuff on the Webtoon app and it seemed to be fine, but I hadn't read that one on the Webtoon. Because I'm not gonna lie, man, a lot of stuff I see that they recommended me on Webtoon, man, a lot of times that shit is wild. Like when I say it is wild trash, I'm like, bruh, this is not good. This is like so even like the ones I look at that are like the most recommended. I'm like,
so you saw one titty too many, huh?
It wasn't even that. It's just they were boring. There wasn't shit going on, or like it was just like I was like, I don't like this shit. But no, but getting back to it, but no, Sung Jin Woo is, yeah, he's garbage. This dude is hot. Like when I look, this motherfucker, like literally, he starts out the anime with a knife. Like he ain't got a sword. He got a regular ass. Like he had like it's barely a combat knife.
I felt like that motherfucking knife got broke every episode. He tried to stab somebody.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And every time this dude was going into dungeons, he was getting worked. I'm talking about like y'all so y'all know how like. When you play a game and you go into a say you play like a Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, something like that, and you go walk into one of the new areas and then regular enemies are fucking you up. Like well, I always think about Bloodborne because there was that one where like you'd be walking down like a little. You'd be walking down like a narrow hallway or a narrow passageway, and all of a sudden some random ass enemy just jump out and start beating the brakes off your ass. You think you doing something, but then they come in like, nah, get your ass up out of here. Go back to the bonfire.
I'm gonna put this in Destiny speak for all you Destiny people. Let's say you doing a raid, and this is the hardest raid in the game, and then somebody joins your match and was like, okay, yeah, I know how to do this. I know I've done this shit plenty of times. I was just trying to get my light level up. Light level ain't nowhere near where you need to be. I'm telling you, I know how to do it. I'm fine.
He's like,
as soon as it starts, they immediately get blown off, and then they just leave.
That man said, which like I got that Dollar Tree butter knife, man. Real quick, shout out to Endless Scimitar. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that raid, bringing in 11. Hey, we appreciate you. We're just doing a little
Endless Cemetery.
Yeah, Endless Cemetery. There it was. You know what it was? Because it was cut off on my side. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
I think we've done enough of clowning how trash this dude was, because you made that shit sound like he said, okay, but just to get into the swing of things, this dude is trash. I'm just like,
yeah. Oh no, he is.
Let's get into the other thing.
No, well, but am I lying though? I feel like you have to, no, because you have to acknowledge the fact that this guy
that he's trash.
You have to. There's no way you can go like, cause okay, so for those who are familiar with like like a My Hero Academia. If you're familiar with like a My Hero Academia, and when you think about My Hero Academia, you think of Deku, and you're like, oh yeah, Deku didn't have any powers. When he first hits the scene, he gets the powers like shortly after the the anime starts, but like he's got to learn how to use the powers. He doesn't really know what he's doing with them. No, that's not what this is. This dude was just garbage. He was just garbage. Dude was constantly getting work. The healers having to blow up healing spells, having to burn all that shit on his ass. When dude walks up, like, what was the one part? I think was it in the second episode where they show him walk up on the folks when they were getting ready to go into the dungeon, and everybody was, and then like the one dude was like, "Oh hey, what's going on, son? What's going on, son? How you been, man?" Everybody was like putting respect on his name, and the one dude was like, "Oh wow, man, who's this guy? I've never seen him before. He must be like a top rank hunter." And dude was like, "Oh, him? Oh, no, man, he's E rank."
Boy, no.
They were like, "Man, get your ass up out of here." It's like, get your ass on, dude. Like,
he's the equivalent of like losing to the tutorial boss. Not in a From Software game, because those are supposed to be hard, but like just like your old school just video game where we just trying to teach you the mechanics. He is failing at the mechanics. But this is after the patch notes came out and he got buffed.
Yeah.
This is after the patch.
Just after
Not
the
before the patch. This is after the awakening patch. He's still trash.
Bruh, I swear to God. I swear to God. It was all weird to me. It was just all weird to me. But that said, here, I'm actually trying to find something because I was trying to figure out, I can't remember if I changed. Oh, no, I did. Okay, so there we go. I think this is going to work.
Okay.
I think this is going to work. If it doesn't, I apologize. No, okay, it did not work. I apologize for that. So basically, I was trying to do a shout out for Endless Cemetery. It did not work the way. Let me see if this one works. Let me see if this one still works.
Dude is built like Rick, the door technician. I don't know who that is.
Did that work?
The Elite
Nope,
X one is really Elite X one is really disrespectful. He's the guy the healer doesn't cast healing on when his life bar is low. I'm gonna focus on this. I know you finna catch it. You know what it reminds me of? Oh my God. You remember that stream of Diablo 4 I did when we had that world boss and we saw that level 11 dude and we were like 40 and 50?
Oh,
and we just knew he was gonna catch it. So he was just on revive duty the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Which I thought was so fucking hilarious, by the way. I thought it was so fucking hilarious.
Trash character notwithstanding. What else do you? What else is up with solo level?
Basically, for me, I really, really ended up falling in love with the show. Elite X1 was actually the one that put me on. Put me on game to this. And I think it was either in I think he actually brought it up in both my Discord and in Robo's Discord. But he was talking about how, yeah, man, dude, these folks get worked.
Oh yeah,
they get worked in this show. And I was like, oh, is it like Grimgar? He was like, man, I ain't seen Grimgar, but he's like, I know these motherfuckers got their ass teared up.
Well, that one dude that was running and then just immediately got his legs blown off. Rewound that part like 4 times.
That motherfucker got vaporized, and it wasn't nothing left but his motherfucking Air Force Ones. That was it. That was the only thing left behind. With his feet still in him. That was it.
Oh, dude.
But oh yeah, no, it was a whole squad wipe. It was a whole, like, I'm not gonna lie, I really tripped. I really tripped off that one. Yeah, it's Arcane Piazza. Yeah, he tripped. No, I was gonna say Arcane Piazza said Grimgar was great. I need a season 2 and 5 because Carter, did you ever see Grimgar?
No, don't know what it is. Never heard of
Okay,
it.
so Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. It's an anime that I really enjoyed. But it only got 1 season, and I don't know if they ever intend to make any more. I'm just gonna go on a limb and assume that they are not. But Grimgar was kind of in the same vein, but different. But these guys, they were going into these dungeons, and they go into like a low-level dungeon, and they get their shit rocked. Like, it's not as bad as solo leveling. It's not as bad as solo leveling, but like it's on one of those levels where a character dies. And like they gone. Like they just gone. Period. End of story. Jersey retired and everything. And it's funny to me because in that anime, they treat that shit with like reverence. Cause like they spent, I think, the next 2-3 episodes grieving this dude and like having PTSD over the fact that they got worked by some fucking goblins. Like, I'm not talking about like I'm not saying they got worked by like, you know, a fucking giant knight in a suit of armor. They didn't get worked by the first boss in Demon Souls. I'm talking about they got worked by the skeletons you see at the beginning of the level. It was on that shit. And I'm talking about like the way they portrayed it. It was like so fucking crazy because you see this stuff happening and these people are like, wait a minute, it's not supposed to go like this. I thought we were gonna win, and they got worked. Like, they had to go back and train. This is kind of a similar vein, but like way more graphic and way, like, I'm gonna tell you something. There's a face that I will forever associate with getting fucked up, and it's always gonna be this one.
Oh yeah, man,
bruh. When that statue's face, bruh, when that statue made that face, like this was oh yeah, I'm about to go in. I was like, bruh. I was like, what is happening right now? Oh my god. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. But no, the anime, it's only 4 or 5 episodes in by now, I believe. But it doesn't stay at that level just quite yet. He does after the first couple of episodes, you start to see that the main character is about to become the person that they need to be. And it kind of were like, I'm not gonna lie, and the reason why I had a barrier for entry with Sword Art Online is because the main character I felt was so fucking cocky. He was so fucking cocky. He was such a piece of shit. I did not like. I think that was why like I ended up just stopping Sword Art Online before like I got terribly far into it. That and a buddy of mine who knows how I am, he warned me that there was like a tentacle scene, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm done. I was like, I'm
Sword
out.
Art Online reminded me too much of Dot Hack, which I also didn't finish. So that's why it stopped being on my radar at this point. But with solo leveling, and because here's the thing, our main character, he does get another buff, but he got a buff from getting broke off by that goddamn statue.
Oh yeah. Oh
So-
man. Wait a minute.
Seth
Right here,
Rollins
right
would be
here.
proud of that stomp.
Bruh. That man, he was like, bruh, come on now. Which Dr. Sun said, I knew Homeboy and Solo was go catch it when he started talking about his family at the beginning of the episode. There was a motherfucker in there started talking about how
You know, I wasn't even thinking about that. He talking about he got to take care of the daughter and all that.
yeah, I
Wow.
was like, bruh. I was like, like the dude immediately turned around and got blown off. But no, it's one of those. I think honestly, this is one of those anime that like I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared because it starts off so good that I feel like, man, I'm worried it can only go
The shoe
down.
drop.
Yeah, I like it. It's you know what it is. It's like because I'm not gonna lie, My Hero Academia kind of hit that wall for me. Like My Hero started off really good, and then there's a certain point, I don't remember exactly where it was, but I started losing my interest in it because like it was just doing dumb shit. Yeah, or just that was doing stuff that I felt was unnecessary, and I was like, yeah, this is what happens when manga don't know when to quit. It's the same way I feel about Naruto. I think Naruto. I know a lot of people like to shit on Naruto because they're like, "Oh, Naruto's fucking stupid." Let's not sit here and lie to ourselves. Naruto's good. It's just that it ends on a dumb note. Like it pushes itself to the point where like it ends at a point where it should have ended like so many volumes ago. And that's my overall problem with anime and manga as a whole is that they don't know when to stop. Like they try, that shit makes money, and rather than just going on and making something new, they just keep that shit fucking going. Yeah. It's kind of like it's the same sin that American comics commit, but just on a different medium and on a different level. Like, because it's not the exact same. It's like, American comics, they always got to go back to the status quo because they got to make that money. But anime and manga do something kind of similar. It's like they drag stories out. Like, I promise you, the only reason One Piece is still going is not because that motherfucker has a story to tell. It's because that shit's making money. Let's just keep it real. Was it Afro Boy Productions? Boruto is saving the Naruto ending right now. So I didn't keep up with Boruto. I honestly, because once again, when I start to see the trajectory that something is taking and seeing how much of a time sink it's going to be. And honestly, with anime, I can be a little bit more generous because, anime is short. They're usually like 22 minutes, if even that. Honestly, most anime are, if we're being honest, probably closer to like 18 minutes once you take into account the openings, the endings, the credits, and a lot of times the recaps. You could even make a case that most anime are only 15 minutes long.
You know what? And I'm happy you said that because that's one thing with Solo Leveling that is just like, it ends very abruptly to me, where it's just like, wait, that's the end of it? It does that damn near every episode where damn, that was short. Like, it's been like 13, 15 minutes. What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Like, see, I'm old school, man. When I see an anime only has like 24 episodes, maybe 50, 60 episodes, even 100, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in. But when I started seeing, like, I'm like Elias once animes hit 300 episodes, said I'm done. Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I'm just like, nah. And that's what I'm kind of scared for this one. I'm scared they're going to try and, it ended at 200 chapters. So I'm going to assume that is it, because so the chapters that I have read, or that I've seen rather, because I did skim some. I didn't read them, I just skimmed them. So it was about 3 chapters to an episode, like just on the conversion rate as I saw it. So I think it's safe to say this isn't going to be like a 200, 300 some episode anime unless they decide to drag this motherfucker out. But yeah, I always get worried when an anime starts off this good because like, I'm like, man, it can only go down from here. It really can. Like, this thing starts off so good. So like, not even just before you even get to the main character, when they're like showing you the world of Solo Leveling, that in the first episode, the opening, where they're showing you how the mechanics of the world work, and they're showing you this group, and like, oh man, we got the tank in here, and he's fucking holding motherfuckers off, and then motherfucker gets worked. Healer comes. There was the one dude gets like tore up by them goddamn ants, and the healer comes in. It's like nah, I got you, and all that dude's wounds just seal up and shit. And you're just like, oh, dude, okay, all right, dude, this is some real high fantasy D&D World of Warcraft shit. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be amazing. And then like you carry on, but yeah, I love it. I think this is probably my new favorite anime.
I'm happy
right
that
now.
I was able to catch it this early to where I was able to watch every episode that has been released. I'm not 40, 50, 60 episodes behind, and I guarantee you all, because I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not gonna keep up with the schedule of this fucking thing, so I'll be waiting on you all to tell me, hey, Solo Leveling, new episode drop, and then I will, by all means, I will go check that out. But there's a comment in the chat that I absolutely agree with, where the animes that I remember the most fondly are the ones that were like 26 to 50 episodes. For me, Trigun, Samurai Champloo,
Outlaw
Afro
Star,
Samurai, boom, G Gundam. So like there was a beginning, there was a middle, there was an end.
Yeah, back when anime had you remember how I don't know if you remember what was it from? I think it was from a Paul Mooney stand up. He said back when TV had sensibilities, he said TV used to turn off. Like when you get to like middle of the night, it's like all right, cool, boom, 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 boom. Like there wasn't nothing on after midnight. You had to get your ass up and go to bed. That's how. And I know it's gonna sound really old man of me to say this, but actually, I miss
y'all.
I miss that shit.
We passed that point. Y'all brought up villains. We are
that's true. That's true. But no, like, the same shit that the same thing that Elite X1 is saying. This is the shit that I used to love. Like, I remember there was a time when Full Metal Alchemist came out. And Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm talking about the original series. We're not even getting to Brotherhood yet. The original series, I think it was like 50, 51, maybe 52, or maybe just a dead even 50. And I remember having to to sit myself down and be like, "You can do it, dude. You can do it. You can do 50. You can do 50." And then once I did, I was like, "Oh, I love this." And then Alchemist Brotherhood came out, and then it was 64 episodes, and I was like, all right, I think I can do this. I think I can do this. And I've kind of slowly gotten to the point where like, yeah, that's kind of my barrier right there. Like when an anime isn't like stupid long, it's not trying to tell me some like it's not trying to be on some goddamn One Piece saga shit where it's like trying to run for like 30 years and like, I started it when I was 12 and my baby's now reading it when she 12. like look, I don't want to be on some shit like that. Not with something of that like and I know some people can be like, well, what about American comics? You're reading Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man's had over 800 some odd issues. You're reading X-Men. X-Men's had over 100. Look, shut the fuck up.
Fucking fascist.
Yeah. But no, the reason why is because I didn't read every fucking issue. There are entire sections of X-Men I never read. Entire sections of Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, I never read. Because American comics are one of those things that if you put the motherfucker down and come back 20 years later, you can probably still read that motherfucker without having missed a fucking beat. You can't really do that with a lot of manga, like, because it's all one continuous story. But all of that is said, yeah, if this ends up being like a solid, like, 50, 60, 70, 80 episodes, I'd be perfectly happy with that. Not everything has to run for the entirety of my life. That is one of the reasons why I just, I don't know. How, you know what, now that I've said that, hold on, because there's another anime I've kind of been making myself watch lately. Before I talk too much shit about, shit not ending. Let me make sure that I'm not setting myself up for failure. Because I recently, I finally said, you know what? Let me see what the fuck this because everybody keeps going off about this goddamn Demon Slayer, and I was like, let me see what the fuck this is all about. And now I'm like, okay. I was like, I now get it. I now understand. I understand the assignment. This motherfucker ended at, was it 205? It looks like. So, yeah, or 205 chapters. 205 chapters. Because once again, typically when they do adapt this stuff, it's usually like a See, that's another thing. Manga aren't as long as American comics are. not only by a little bit. A manga is usually anywhere, a manga chapter is usually anywhere between maybe 15 to like maybe 18 or 20 pages. And a lot of times the manga usually stretches out the story more than the anime usually do sometimes. But like what was it, the episode of My Hero Academia where All Might is fighting All for One, and like it's just super crazy. I think the anime was only maybe, I think that fight went like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. In the manga, that's just like several chapters or some shit. So yeah, it's not to say that yeah. And then here, G. Martinez said something I think actually kind of hits, is after anime began going to like the hundreds, they seem to lose the original story concept. It starts going into the nonsensical. They should do one story and jump to another, maybe in the same world. And that's kind of my take with it too. It's like, because yeah, I'll tell you right now, I love Naruto, but once again, dumbass fucking ending. And really, once you really get a certain point into Shippuden, it's like, I don't even know where this is going now.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's like, I don't even, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't finish Naruto. I didn't finish Shippuden. I didn't finish Burrito. There was too much at that point.
Well, and I will say this, I like Tokyo Revengers. I started Tokyo Revengers, but didn't finish it. I do need to finish that. Attack on Titan, same thing. And that's actually why I stopped watching Attack on Titan, because I was like, dude, this is getting dumb. When I was getting dumb, it's like it's taking too long to say what it has to say. And yeah, Elite X1 said Outlaw Star did what One Piece is trying to do in only 26 episodes. They got to that ley line without doing 1,000 episodes. And that's the thing, like, what was it? I think I talked about this on Nerds of Culture, but like the comedian Roxy Hayes, the video I saw that went viral that she did, where she was talking about how when you explain shit it sounds stupid. She literally, when she talked about One Piece, the key thing, Carter, that she said, you know what she said? She said, yeah, they're trying to find the One Piece. What the fuck is the One Piece? We don't know. 1,000 some odd episodes, issues, and they don't even know what the fuck the One Piece is. That's how you know you've lost the plot. Or like when that's why when people say, man, yeah, I have a lot of story to tell. No, you don't. You're just dragging ass to sell that book. And I'm not hating on that. But don't expect me to go on that journey with you.
I feel like we went from being so positive to
dunking
well, right now, dude.
Oh wait, Elite
we went from praising this shit.
Yeah.
Now we just dunking on it.
I'm not gonna dunk on solo leveling, but like I'm just talking about like just anime in general. Like it's one of those things where you have like, look, I've been watching anime since I was like 4 or 5 years old. I am 41 years old now. I've been watching this show a long time. I used to watch anime back when like anime wasn't even popular. Like back when like you had to like go to some mom and pop video store just to find 5 anime VHSs on the shelf.
Talk about Animax real quick.
No, not even Animax. I'm talking about even before Animax. Like there used to be the first like dyed in the wool anime. Like when I saw Akira for the first time, yeah. I rented it from a mom and pop video rental shop. And do you know how many anime they had on the shelf? The anime shelf was that long. It was like 5 or 6, and these are VHS tapes, not DVDs.
Yeah.
So that's like 5 or 6 anime on there, and it would be like the first few episodes of an OVA or some shit, or just an OVA or OAV or whatever at that point. Yeah. And then like I remember like you'd go to like a Sam Goodies, and they might have like a rack, like like one of them standalone racks that you like spin around. There'd be a rack of some anime. So yeah, anime was in a different place when I was coming up. So yeah. But all of that said, I've been watching anime a long time, and I feel like you can't watch anime for that long for most of your fucking life and not recognize some of the problems that it has. It has problems. It's not perfect. It's good. It's great. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that shit don't fuck up sometimes. Hey, wait, we got a, oh man, look at that. Look at that. Hold up. Wait, where did it go? Did it show up over here? I don't know if it showed up over here. I'm looking to see if it showed up over here. Man, thank you for them biddies. Thank you for them biddies over there, RZ2_2. We appreciate you over there. But yeah, I see, I saw someone bring up Jujutsu Kaisen saying that was pretty much peak. and Full Metal Alchemist, I do believe, has the formula down. Let's see. And G. Martinez, I think, said it best too. Think about the Avatar: The Last Airbender series. They began going into the storyline with one airbender and jumped to another airbender with Korra, a new avatar in the same world. This is the correct formula. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if not saying that, I know what's best, but if I were a mangaka who has created, things the likes of My Hero Academia or One Piece or Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, that's what I would do. I'd be like, okay, cool. We've told our story. So now, do you want more of that story? Guess what? We're going to do a new story, but it's going to be in the same universe with new characters who, some are kind of similar to characters you're already familiar with, but also you're going to meet some new characters that you've never seen before. We're going to have you experience some things with these characters you didn't get to experience with these other characters. That is the way you do it. It's like doing it. It's like having, honestly, Last Airbender does legacy characters better than most comic companies do legacy characters. Sadly, the fans of Avatar don't see it that way. Not all of them. But, because I can't remember how many times people kept trying to tell me not to try to watch Legend of Korra. Like, nah, man, it's trash. I'm like, why? Because girl. I'm like, okay, I guess. But, yeah. Y'all have fun with that. Yeah. Hey, Witch Doctor Sun, thank you. Thank you for putting that respect in my name. Ernie always says, if you can't point out the flaws in something you love, you don't actually love it. I mean, like I said, it's a blanket statement, but it's something I believe in. It's something I believe in 100%. Elias wants to, she's a girl and too dark. Hey, here's the funny part. I fucking love Legend of Korra. I think that show fucking hits. I don't like the way they did the ending of Korra, but that's one of those things where when you do a thing, sometimes maybe you should end it before you run the fuck out of ideas. But that said, Carter.
Yes.
I did actually have one more thing I want to talk about because we're over on time. We're just going to move on to the other shit. I didn't actually plan. We're not going to do recommendeds this week. I tell you what, if we do, I'm just going to be super quick about mine and just say that, where did it go? You know what? Here. I got you.
All right. Well, while he's doing that, okay.
Oh,
found
no.
it?
I have it. Okay,
go ahead.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Yeah, so here. This is what I'm going to do real quick. Hey, guys, guess what? X-Men animated series manga is coming back. Get it in hardcover. It's coming out in September. Bye. Anyway, this week's recommendations. My recommendation is going to be read. And this is going to be kind of cheating because I talked about it on the Blerd Awards. Read the Armageddon game, the TMNT crossover event, because going back and rereading it for some videos, some of you may have noticed I started doing Ninja Turtles videos on the channel. I actually have more planned. And also, for those wondering where my Black History Month videos are, don't worry, I did not forget. I actually have one in the can that'll be going up probably after this show is over. Most likely. And then, or at least I'm gonna try to. Sometimes I forget. Here, let's skip that. And what else was I gonna say? Yeah. That said, yes, Armageddon game. Go read it. It's fun. It's good. It is probably one of the most interesting, it's the culmination of everything that the initial launch of the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics were building up to. So I definitely recommend that. It is very good, very just it does a lot of things you're not going to expect, because you're going to see characters who are in very different places versus maybe what you might expect them to be based on the nature of where the series is at the time of its printing. But yeah, it is really good. Not to mention, it puts the ultimate respect. It puts the ultimate respect on the Rat King of all characters. Of all the characters in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villains pantheon, Rat King is getting the ultimate respect. And just based on that cover alone, you can already see some of the wild shit that is popping off in this comic. It is 4 of the Ninja Turtles' deadliest villains pretty much all deciding to team up and shit on the Turtles. Carter, what do you got?
Donald Glover's new Mr. and Mrs. Smith series came out. All 8 episodes are out. I watched all 8 episodes yesterday after I said I was going to wait on you all, but didn't. I enjoyed it. Go watch it. It was solid. It was shot. It was the team of Donald Glover and also Hiro Murai, I think is how you say his name, who basically they did Atlanta together. So
yeah, he was the best. Say he was all over Atlanta.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a nice little 8 episode season. I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's it. Go watch that. Enjoy yourself.
Go have fun. Stay in school.
Yeah.
Drink your milk. Let's see. Now let's get to our 5 questions from the Discord. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do that. Okay. Let's see. Man, ooh, wow. Got a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we got something to grow on. We got Christian Rapper says, "What's up, Blerd? Did any of you guys read Superman Lost? The first 9 books of that series was epic. It was unlike any Superman series that I've read before. The first 80% of the book of book 10 was great.
10.
However, in my opinion, it had the worst and most cop-out ending of any series ever. It was like season 8 of Game of Thrones. I binged the series in the past 2 days. If I had read the series from the beginning, I would have been ticked off. If I still cursed, I would have said, fuck off." It made the whole series pointless, and I felt like I just wasted my time. So, okay, I haven't finished it, but what I can say, I did read some of it. I liked what I read, and based on what you just told me, I feel like I'm going to have an enjoyable experience until I get to the very end of it. So I'm just going to say, I think you just encouraged me to not finish it. I'm probably still going to finish it, but I'm going to take my sweet time getting back to it. Carter, did you say you read some of it?
I did, because I'm really trying to be a fan of Christopher Priest, but I can't remember what issue it got to, but I just kind of got to a point where I just started turning the page, trying to find something interesting that would make me want to read it,
and then just move on.
Yeah, but I couldn't find anything of interest that made me want to be like, okay, that's a dope little twist. Let me read it from the beginning real quick.
Nah, I'm good. Yeah, Christopher Priest is in a weird place right now, man. I don't know what's going on with that brother, but because I was like, dude, this dude had some good runs. Like his Justice League was good, his Deathstroke was good, and then after that, it was like, man, that dude just stopped giving a fuck. Like that brother said, look, after he made Red Lion, he said, "I'm done." he said, "After the Slade Wilson, I am out."
You got another one here from Baloney Justice. This is for you. He said, "Hey Blerd, I got a question for you. Mike can hold off on it, but if you think it's worth doing a video on, it's been bugging me that with nobody can stay dead in comics. Why have they not brought Alfred back yet? The man died in 2019, and in that time, Miss Marvel, Daredevil, and Magneto died and will be reborn. Also, a whole ass X-Men team died too. You are merging too many different comic companies, and it's bugging me. Like from Shining Cheek to Shining Cheek X-Men team, including Dazzler, Jubilee, Iceman, and they are all coming back except the Juggernaut. We don't talk about the Juggernaut like that because we need to get those fucking likes up. Anyway, my point, please tell me you have one. They ever bring back Alfred? No. Or is the whole never stay dead rule a Marvel thing? So your question is, how can nobody stay dead in comics? I guess.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Alfred is not a superhero. So that is key number one as to why he's not been brought back. As far as I'm aware, I don't think Chip Zdarsky has brought him back yet. I'm a little behind on issues, but last I read of Chip Zdarsky's run, Alfred is still very much dead. There are characters in Marvel who stay dead. It's just that those characters are few and far between. Death in comics is honestly just a way to take someone off the shelf for a little bit so that you can miss them, so they can bring them back and the book sales go up. That's usually the idea. New number ones and all that. But yeah, DC, they bring back people. They do bring back people. It's DC, I think, is maybe slightly more. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. They killed off the entire Justice League and tried to make you think it was gonna stick, and it didn't. The motherfuckers was back inside of 6 months. Superman, when he died, he came back inside of I think 3 months or 4 months. I don't think he was even gone that long. Yeah, it's not just a Marvel thing. It just is what it is. But normally when death is dealt out by normal, or not by, but to normal, regular people, that's when they stay dead. Because what was it? Sue Dibney. She ain't. I don't think Sue Dibney is back. I think Sue Dibney is still very fucking dead. After the events of Identity Crisis. So yeah. And I think a character I'm gonna drop a video for after this. I think she is still dead too, even though technically she's not dead. Yeah, well, you'll see when I put the video out. But yeah, that it is what it is. It's because it's Alfred, and honestly, I'm okay with Alfred being dead. I'm not that attached. I mean, I love the character, but I'm not attached. Not like that. I think Batman without Alfred, while it is sad to see, is a necessary thing. We got another one from Qdoma. Says, greetings, Blerd and Carter. Hope you're having a great day without any problems. My question to both of you is, what is the end game for the rise of AI in our world? Also wanted to toss in a footnote. The Christopher Reeve Superman cameo in The Flash was done without consulting his family. Yes, I heard about that. I believe the Reeve estate came out and said something about that recently. For those who don't remember, in the Flash, what was every movie DC puts out was, oh, this is supposed to be the final DCEU movie, and then another DCEU movie comes out. But no, the Flash, yeah, that one was kind of rough. They had all those CG cameos and whatnot of Supergirl, Superman, all that stuff. Yeah, that one was sad. But honestly, the end game for AI is, at least in terms of the corporate aspect, is that they want it to replace workers, because honestly, AI is cheaper. But the problem with AI is that AI is only as good as the people who put input into it. That's it. Yeah, it learns, but AI doesn't really do a good job at writing a joke. You know what I mean? Same thing we talked about in Nerds of Culture with the George Carlin AI stand-up routine. It wasn't funny. I mean, it's funny in a couple of parts, but it was more funny because I was like, man, this thing is really trying to be George Carlin, super hard body. But yeah, I'm a firm believer that no, it's going to be used to try and replace actual workers who have actual creativity, and I don't think it's actually going to work. I feel like AI works best when it's married with talent. I talked about on the show, I said that I use AI to do certain things, but it's not creating the thing for me. It's not like when I use AI to help me edit a video, the AI isn't looking up the facts. It's not researching the facts. It's not performing the video for me. I just use AI to find the parts of the video where I'm not talking and get rid of them to cut down on my editing time. I use AI to analyze my voice so that it can generate somewhat accurate subtitles. I use AI to remove a part of an image to put in a thumbnail, so I don't have to waste time like painstakingly trying to cut it out myself. That's where AI, I think, works best, and that's where it should stay. Moving on. Carter, you want to? I don't want my voice cracked. Carter, you want to read this one here from Trap God Thanos?
Sure. Good afternoon, boys. I was wondering, do you guys think the way fans are reacting to Beast potentially getting rebooted is hypocritical? What I mean is that people seem to be happy that villain Beast will go away and fun Avengers Beast will return, despite the fact that the villain Beast had a damn 10-year arc starting with Bendis to become this. The same people happy about the regression will turn around and say they're frustrated because Spider-Man or Batman don't grow as characters. It seems people only want a specific type of character progression, and if that doesn't happen, are mad about all other kinds. What do you guys think? I think if these motherfucking likes don't go up soon, Beast about to put y'all lazy asses in the gulag.
I mean, so I agree 100,000% on this sentiment. It's so yeah. Honestly, Tribe God Thanos said it perfectly. People, it's not that people don't want progression, it's that they want progression of a specific thing. People don't want to see the version like people want the version of Beast that came from an era that's familiar to them. They don't want this new Beast, even though that was progression. It just was the progression they wanted to be. They want, like, everybody has a headcanon. And sometimes people are able to turn that headcanon off and accept the canon that's being presented to them. And then there's other people who don't know how to do that shit. And that's the people that Trap God Thanos is talking about, though they are the latter. They don't know how to turn that shit off. There are people I've talked to who will tell you with, like, a full, full disclosure that they don't like the Krakoan era. But the Krakoan era was progress. It was the culmination of years of the X-Men being shit on for a long time and finally having autonomy. The problem was you just didn't like how it was done. You wanted the motherfuckers going back to struggling. But at the same time, you don't want them to struggle. You can't, like this, like, like I said, when I was talking about cognitive dissonance, this is where cognitive dissonance often comes into play. It's where people, they want the one thing, but they also want the other thing. But if you try and tell them they were already getting the one thing, they're like, no, I don't believe you. And what was it? This was a personal favorite of mine. Spider-Man Worldwide. Peter was finally banking on ostensibly the work of Otto Octavius. He was eating off the table that Otto Octavius has set for him. But at the same time,
Talking about Parker Industries.
Yeah, Parker Industries. He was eating off of Octavius's plate, which is fine. But but the thing is, he was at a point where it's like, okay, this is where Peter needs to be. And it's like, folks didn't like it. That's not my Peter Parker. Because deep down, secretly, whether we want to admit it or not, and I'm even guilty of this, sometimes we just like our status quos. And it's not to say that we like all status quos when I say this, but like there are some status quos that exist for a reason. It's because they're popular. Just like how a lot of us, people who love the Krakoan era, we don't want the Krakoan era to end, for the most part. But there are people out there who love the X-Men who don't know shit about the Krakoan era. And as far as they're concerned, the X-Men have always been in that goddamn mansion, and that's what they want to see. I'm not making this up. There are people out there who, just like we talked about earlier, they are used to seeing Batman have an Alfred. And that's what they want to see. There are people out there who want the Justice League to always have certain characters on it, the Avengers to have certain characters on it, because That's just what they're used to. That's actually a lot of the reason why, I mean, not saying it's 100% the reason why, but a lot of the reason why Jerry Duggan kept Jean Grey and Cyclops on the X-Men when everybody else had left with the exception of Sync.
I did see a comment where someone was saying that basically what you're alluding to with that's not my Justice League, that's not my X-Men, and somebody trying to correct them and basically say what you're saying now with growth and progression and things like that. And they made it a point to say because they had been reading comics for 48 years, they had been reading comics for 60 years, that they knew what they were talking about more so than the next person. And this is why my beast, my Henry McCoy, Hank McCoy, my Hank McCoy should come back, excuse me, because I've been reading comics for 60 years, reading comics for 48 years, and I know what I'm talking about. It's ugh. That just goes back to why I don't like being referred to as a comic fan. I'm just a fan of.
I mean, it's sad. It is sad. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's a lot of reason why I stay off of social media a lot of the time. That's why you won't see me on there for more than a little bit at a time. Because I'm just like, man, y'all make me mad. Like y'all don't. Y'all
you do that Twitter shit way, but you, Rob, not him, y'all do that Twitter shit way better than me, dog. I can't take the stupidity of it all. I cannot.
Oh yeah,
it
no.
irks the hell out of me, dude.
Well, I will use that to say for the next thing. I think we got one more here in the Discord from Big Boy 71. Says, good afternoon and happy Saturday, Ernie, Carter, my fellow Blerd Coens. How do you fellows find time to read comics? Like, what's your strategy? Do you set aside time or just wing it? I ask because I have all of your recommendations piling up and can't for the life of me figure out how to find the time to read them. I know y'all better find time to get the motherfucking likes up. So,
okay, so this is
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. Here, I want your perspective on this because I'm curious.
So with me, because this has happened several times, and I think Ernie don't even realize that it's happening. You have hit me up several times where you've gotten certain things done, and it's when I'm reading a book, and it'd be like 9, 10 in the fucking morning. I read it at work. That's one big one. I'm reading them at the workhouse. Another way that I'm reading them, like I'm reading my James Tynion detective run. If it's a hardcover, it's a trade, it don't matter. Leave it in the bathroom. Every time you take your ass to the bathroom, it's right there. Wow.
Well, you remember how people used to have those magazine racks in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea to have like a magazine or a book rack in the bathroom. I know it sounds like so weird in today's day and age, but I do a lot of my reading in the bathroom. And also I read like, so my phone, I have one of those Z folds.
Yeah, you finna start.
So like when I read a comic, like it's a decent enough size that I can read it and it's not like this is like literally like you can't really see it that good, but this is like more than half of a page of a comic right here. And I can just read it there and be done with it. And I've actually just getting caught up for because we got the 150th issue of Ninja Turtles coming up soon. I think I'm on issue like 130 something right now. And shit, been going back and rereading shit, going back and reading and that's with me going back and rereading some of the earlier ones. A lot of times what I do is while I'm watching TV or watching a movie, this is also why I'm a huge fan of dubbed anime. Cause I can't watch an anime with subtitles and read a comic at the same time. I'm a multitasker. Even when I'm doing this, it's actually probably why I'm good at doing the Blerd Cave the way we do it, like running the production side of it, because I'm so used to constantly doing multiple things at once. I'm usually always multitasking. If I'm playing a video game, I probably have a movie up on the other side, like on another monitor. And actually to give you guys a little bit of I'll give you guys a little bit of the setup, but like right here, like where I'm pointing right here, there's another monitor right here and it's vertical. that is what I read my comics on when I'm at my desk, at my desktop. So
Yeah, he put me on game because now I'm doing that. He put me on game on that.
Dude, like I said, I pull that motherfucker up, got that bitch in portrait mode, and just be reading. I also have a screen over here. This is literally right here where my hand is at right now. You can't really see where my hand's at, but just say, boom, right there. There's a monitor right there that I'll watch the movie on while I have the video game here in the monitors directly in front of me. And then I have this over here, my drawing tablet. Sometimes I draw while I... when I'm drawing, I'll have another comic up and I'll be reading that while I'm drawing. So yeah, I'm a multitasker. So that's why whenever I watch anime, I actually, like on my Crunchyroll, the default is set to dub preferred. So that way, when I'm watching it, I don't have to read while I'm reading.
There you go. There you go. Now, I'm not going to be one to tell you like Ernie, to tell you to put a fucking spinner rack in your bathroom because you a whole level of menace to put a spinning rack in your bathroom. Like, like this Batman hardcover is literally on the tub. So as soon as I lift the toilet seat thing and sit down to get situated, all I gotta do is grab it off the tub. If I got my shelf right here, I can just pull off this classic right here. Just when a game pisses you off or some such, like. But yeah, I think lunch breaks and bathrooms are the big two because you can get through a single issue. You can get through a single issue on the lunch break unless you just reading slow as hell. You can get through several of what came out that Wednesday on a lunch break.
Especially if you're reading
bathroom.
Especially if you're reading like a stack of shit, like you just let some shit pile up. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I read like 20 issues of Ninja Turtles in a single bathroom break. And I wasn't even in there a long time. I was just like, boom, 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 just hitting each and every one of them. Wait, let me pull this up. Wishlock says that Ernie is the man in the mother effing chair. But
we got a fiver here. This is for you too, from G Martinez, saying that he also has a Galaxy Z Fold. Shout out to the Z Fold tribe. We treat the phone like a book. It's a game changer to achievers.
It really is. It really is. Because like I promise you, I don't know what I would do without it. Here, I'm gonna pull this up because we're gonna go ahead and get into the question segment of things from the chat. We're already in questions, but questions from the chat. Y2 News says, question, does Avengers Twilight feel like a Marvel what if 1974 Secret Empire ended with bad guys winning? Yeah, it does kind of feel like that. It does kind of feel like a what if. I mean, because it is, for all intents and purposes, it's an Elseworlds. Like, it's an Elseworlds. Let's just be honest with ourselves. That's what it is. But it's a good one. It's a very good one.
Last week. This is Chip Zdarsky's Kingdom Come. Is what this is. And it's actually funny that you saying secret. Yeah, it's funny he said Secret Empire because that suit that Cap is wearing in Avengers Twilight reminds me of the Nick Spencer Hydra Cap suit.
It does, actually. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, dude, up here, man. Look, dude.
Yeah.
Carter be knowing.
This is totally Chip's Kingdom Come to me.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And honestly, I can't wait till this motherfucker is collected. That motherfucker getting a hardcover and it's getting bought.
One of my partners, Bishop asked, he was saying, dude, this omnibus is getting bought when it dropped. And I said, well, slow your roll. You can actually save yourself some money. It's only 6 issues. So this is maybe a $30 or $40 hardcover. We in business.
Oh, especially after this last issue, Lord have mercy. G Martinez says, I need Alfred to become an AI in DC Comics. Why haven't they pushed this possible concept? They touched on it in DC's Dark Knight's Metal.
That would be nasty.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of wild. I can see it happening, like especially like if you kind of went the route that they did in Milestone with Hardware, how he had Pop. It was like an AI iteration of his father, like talking to him. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I can see that. I would sign on for that. I would co-sign that. But I don't know why they haven't pushed that. Maybe because I feel like maybe they might be holding a little too much reverence for Alfred. And I think like AI is a touchy subject nowadays. That might also be why they're not doing it, even though some people still clearly do it. We got another here for LP3 says James Tynion 4 is crushing the horror genre right now. Who are some other great horror comic writers? It's funny you bring this up. But Rodney Barnes Philadelphia. Man's over here, doing good things.
I'm actually happy you said that. Did you read the new issue?
I haven't read it yet, but I know it has Savage Dragon in it. Also, I don't know, like, I'm not a Savage Dragon aficionado, but I love how he's drawn, because he looks black. I don't know if he's supposed to be or whatever.
Wait, that's one of those ones, y'all, that I've read on a lunch break. If you saying he looked like it, just wait till you hear how Rodney Barnes got him talking.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got it. I already have it pulled up, ready to read. So yeah, it's.
Be prepared to read Savage Dragon say that he's about to bring a little bit of Chirac to these vampires.
Ooh, okay. All right, I'm here for it. Savage Dragon is a Piccolo. Hey, just wait. I have no idea. I have no idea what Savage Dragon's ethnicity is, because that motherfucker has always been green, at least when I tried to read his comics. If he was ever supposed to be black or biracial, that was news to me. I never kept up with Savage Dragon like that. What was that? Was that 3 questions? I think that was 3 questions so far, right? I could be wrong.
Yes, it was. It was 3.
Oh man, look at us. We getting somewhere. Sidious Black with the question says, I'm just curious, Blood and Carter, what deck type are you currently enjoying in Marvel Snap? Tell you what, I'm not going to count this one because I'm not even playing Marvel Snap anymore.
Me either.
I just smooth gave up on that game. It got too stupid. Like everybody's trying to play the same deck. Everybody's trying to do this. Everybody's trying to do that. I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't have the time anymore.
That mentality, man. People stop trying to have fun with that game, and everybody wants to be competitive and follow this YouTuber that said they got to infinite real quick with this deck. So they killed the fun of it.
No, you want to know what did it for me? I was trying to play Conquest mode.
Okay.
I played 10 matches, or rather, not 10 matches. There were 10 games, like, not because technically you can have multiple matches with one person. So 10 different opponents in a row. Guess how many of them were using the same exact fucking deck?
Mm-hmm. Because people can't think for themselves, man. They got to go to a YouTuber or something. They just can't have fun. They got to have that dopamine of I beat this person into like it's a mobile card.
It was to tell you how long ago this was. What they were doing, it was when High Evolutionary was kind of busted. So everybody was running High Evolutionary with, Hulk. Basically, it was what me and Robo used to call like the Immortal Hulk deck. Because basically, like, Hulk would grow from being like, I think he's like 12 power base or something like that. He would grow, you could get that motherfucker to like 30, 40 if you played it right. And then what they would do is you play him with Moon Girl so you could copy him and then have multiples of them. You'd also have She-Hulk in the deck so you could skip a turn and then have a bunch of no-cost 9 power cards. It was getting fucking dumb. And then they were also using the Cyclops and the Thing and Wasp parts of the deck as well, so that way they could nerf your cards into the ground. So basically, if you weren't playing Luke Cage, basically you were asking to get worked. Like, so basically you had to play a very specific deck to counter it. Otherwise, just fucking uninstall the game. And when that happened, I was like, all right, okay, all right, I think I'm done. I was like, I think I'm fucking done. And I was getting tired of like all the fucking deck people out there, like every time, like trying to act like you know what it was? And I think I bitched to you about this, Carter. I remember getting so angry, irrationally angry with Cozy Snap, because he would literally make a video praising a card. Oh, this card is so great. Oh, this is the best card in the game. Oh my God, I fucking love this card. Oh my God, I love this card. And then once he started getting worked by that card because he talked that shit up and made it a household name, so now everybody fucking using that shit against him and beating his ass, then he'd be like, this card's trash. Like, because when Shuri was the meta, when Shuri Red Skull was the meta, he was the motherfucker making videos about that fucking deck and talk about how amazing it was. When folks started fucking him up with it, guess what he started doing? He started bitching like he didn't make videos propping that motherfucker up. So yeah, anyway, I just got irrationally angry again. I don't want to talk about Marvel Snap anymore. So, I am going to count that question. Question from Jerome. This will be the last one. It says, how mad are Peter Parker fans now that Miles has discovered another new power with the use of his X-ray vision spider sense? So here's the thing. Probably, you know what? They're going to be mad anyway.
He took the words out of my mouth.
They gonna be mad anyway. Can we be honest with ourselves? Can we be honest with ourselves? I think they're gonna be mad regardless. I think they're gonna be mad regardless because it's a half black, half Puerto Rican Spider-Man. And honestly, even with the half black, half Puerto Rican part, to most of the people who just don't like Spider-Man because he's not white, or that version of Spider-Man because he's not white, they just gonna call him black anyway. So let's just say that. Fucking black Spider-Man. They're already mad about that. And then you bring in the most dastardly nemesis in the history of the Spider-Man's rogues gallery, Paul, into the equation. So they're already mad.
I didn't expect you to go the color route with that. I was just gonna say that people are gonna be mad regardless because Peter Parker's still getting written by Zeb Wells.
You know what? On that note, that's it. I don't want to talk no more. I'm done. I'm done. That's 5 questions from chat. That's 5 questions from Discord. Yeah, no, fuck that shit. I'm done. I got nothing else. And we're already over like almost 3.5 hours. Carter, do you have anything that you want to share before we get out of here?
Because Lies of P is still not on sale, I may or may not stream a Sekiro mod today. So be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout. Okay. I love to see it. I have a video coming up here very shortly. I have not made a thumbnail for it yet, so just bear with me. I'm going to make that, then I'm going to make the video go live. But the first video of Black History Month is going to be Power Girl. Wait, you're thinking, wait, Power Girl? In Power Girl White? No. Not that Power Girl. I'm going to be dropping a video here shortly, and this one is going to be about another Power Girl, and that is going to be the Tanya Spears edition of the character. So be on the lookout for that. That will be coming up here very shortly. And yeah, make sure you go check it out. Help us out. If you have been enjoying the show thus far, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so because that helps us out tremendously. We're still, like I said, 100K this year. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. We just gotta work together. Make sure that if you do click subscribe, make sure you tap that notification bell because that way it makes sure you never miss the multiple videos I put out each week, plus both. That's right, I said both live streams every Thursday and Saturday. You got Nerds of Culture every Thursday. And of course, right here, you're right here with us, Blerd Cave. You could catch the Blerd Cave every Saturday. Make sure you don't miss a thing. Carter is going to have up the audio version of this on Spotify here. We'll just say ballpark maybe by tomorrow. Depending on
I have today.
You have it today? Oh shit, never mind. Let me shut the fuck up then. I put all kinds of disrespect on your name. Well, yeah, no. It's gonna be up later today. So make sure you keep it locked for that. And also, once again, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, whatever, make sure you leave ratings and stuff like that. I don't plug this stuff as often as I should. I feel like I'm a terrible person when it comes to that sort of stuff. So yeah, but just make sure you do it. And also, if you want to get extra content, we have Patreon. We also, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can, I guess technically if you're on the Twitch side of things, you can also subscribe on that side of things. If you have those Bezos bucks at Amazon Prime, you can subscribe over on that side without even having to pay a dime. If you're on the YouTube side of things, there's a little button down below which says join. You click that button and you get access to extra content. On the Twitch side, not so much. That part's a little nebulous. You get access to emotes. There you go. You get that. But if you click the join button here on YouTube, you get access to that extra content. I do behind the scenes stuff on the comic I'm working on, as well as do art related stuff based on some of the comics that I cover. Right now, we're still in the throes of finishing the She-Hulk. The She-Hulk that I've been working on, and I don't know if I saved. I don't know if I saved it. Let me see if I saved it. I don't think I did. If I didn't, because I think we finished the yeah, I did actually. I saved it. So we finished the line work and the inks on it. So here it is right here. This is where we're at right now. You get to sit in on the entire process of this. Also, I made her a Thicky McThickums because that's just how I operate.
God.
So yeah, we ain't gonna go down any farther than that. This is the most important part. But yeah, I think the last video I put out, all of this, like from the neck down. I'm gonna zoom back in again. From the neck down, it was a whole video of me doing all of this and that, and doing the lettering for said thing. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you can make sure you get access to that content over on Patreon. Let's see, and yeah, there we go. Elite X1, you ain't shit. Said 5 years,
Yeah,
Ernie.
you saw
Said
it,
he said you got 5 years to finish. Dave just showed us all the game. So yeah, and also just to kind of give you guys a little bit of inside baseball on the comic. On the comic side of things, there has been progress and headway on that as well. So the first issue, honestly, outside of going back and adding like ambience and stuff and extra like grayscale shit, it's practically done. Maybe save for a couple of pages. There's a couple of pages I still need to finish that I'm really close to finishing, and then I'll be done with that part of it. At least, but that's just for issue 1. I'm actually kind of debating because I think what I didn't talk about with Mary-Tyler Moorehawk is I think like 8 chapters. That's not including the prose that's in the book. So yeah, I might actually take the time. I'm debating to maybe finish the whole arc. We'll see how that plays out. But that said, I think it's time for us to get out of it because we've already overstayed our welcome. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us and making it fun. If you haven't dropped a like, make sure you drop that like before you head on out of here. And yeah, we're going to just kick it out of here. For Carter Presents, I am the Blerd Without Fear. And Mark Millar, you can go to hell.
Bye!